Welcome, everyone, to the 6th Southampton Town Planning Board meeting. We will have a roll call, please.
Chair LaFaro.
Present.
Vice Chair Finnerty.
Present.
The Secretary is here. Board Member Fulham.
Present.
Board Member Gleason.
Present.
Board Member Schultz.
Present.
Board Member Mutu is absent. We have a quorum.
Great, thank you. And introducing our new Planning Board member, Leslie Schultz. So we now have a full board. Okay, please join us for a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any minutes, Gloria?
April 23rd.
April 23rd, motion. Motion by Dennis, second by Kate, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 6 in
Abstain.
favor,
I abstain.
1 abstention, and 1 absent. Okay, so the afternoon work session, penny candy is off the agenda. So we'll go right into 103 County Road, and I'll close the afternoon session and go into a work session.
That's 103 County Road
103 County Road
39A.
39A.
Just
More afternoon.
Just push that up. Those are,
the
yeah,
sign.
we're
I
signing
didn't get a
those.
chance to sign everything yet.
Just leave them there.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Good.
Those two, Carl, thanks. Just put them over there.
Good afternoon. Carl Menacasa, 860 Montauk Highway, Watermill, New York, for the applicant. Joining me is Brian DeSessa of the applicant.
Hi, Brian. Brian DeSessa.
So,
Okay, Teresa, we'll let Teresa give us an overview.
Good afternoon. This project is 103 County Road 39A. As you may recall, we have a site plan application for the applicant, for the property that calls for the construction of 15,000 square feet of medical offices. We had initially approved a building, one large building with all the parking in the front in 2001, 2002, something around there. That site plan lapsed, and in the intervening years, the County Road 39 corridor study was adopted as a component of the comprehensive plan. We had brought concerns to the applicant during the pre-submission conference and site plan process to say we would prefer the buildings be more campus style with the parking in the back, the majority of the parking in the back, consistent with the recommendations of the County Road 39 corridor study, which again is a component of the comprehensive plan. We started the SECRA process, and when we began our SECRA review, obviously there was concern about consistency with community plans, and the applicant then asked for a tabling of that consideration, and they came in with a revised plan more consistent with the recommendations of the plan and the previous board's comments, and I wanted to bring it to you today to make sure that they're on the right path before they invest a lot of money in revising their plans and doing a full-scale engineering plan. So this is what we have before us today. You can see it up on the computer. They did put the majority of the parking in the rear and in the sides. There is some in the front, and it is a campus-style building. Buildings in campus style, 3 buildings, each of 5,000 square feet. So this is significantly more consistent with what we had asked for, and I just wanted to get your feedback to make sure that they are going down the right road before we proceed.
Thank
Are
you.
these 1 story or 2 stories?
I believe
2 stories.
They're 2 stories. Teresa, I know there's a whole scenario of trying to get access out to North Sea Road. I know Burger King, there was some sort of easement. Is there any opportunity to link into that rear? I think it starts with Burger King.
yes, the plan does have a notation that there's cross-access there. We would have to work with the Burger King and the other property owners to get the cross-access.
I believe the fire department owns the frontage on North Sea Road.
Correct, and we actually have cross-access for that one. I
We do,
believe. I
okay.
have to triple check, but I'm almost 100% sure that when we did the subdivision for that lot and the site plan for that lot, you required the cross-access.
Is it going to be a two-way? Because I'm almost thinking if traffic that's coming off North Sea, up North Sea Road could almost use that access to get in through the rear wouldn't even have to deal with the North Highway.
No, I don't disagree, and I would ask, we would
Good work on
make
it.
that as part of the plan to make it
Yeah.
two-way.
Good.
Dead ends at the cemetery.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, obviously, we don't want.
Is that linkage shown on the
No
plan?
pun.
It's access.
Is that shown on the plan at this time, or is it?
It is in the back.
In the back.
Proposed cross-access?
Northeast
Here.
corner.
Let me
Oh.
zoom in. 'cause
Oh, there it is,
It's in
okay.
the northeast
A
corner.
little bit hard to see that, but, okay, that's
Well,
good.
just looking at it, it is 1,000 times
Yeah.
better. Looks better, will be better.
Mm-hmm.
It could almost be a bit of a model for other campus-style
Yeah.
developments, which is great, as opposed to one mass building, 3 smaller with inner garden, I think you have there.
I think you also get some parking credit for that
Cross-access.
cross-access,
Yeah.
yeah.
The parking provided now is 134, previously it was 99, so we've
So
actually.
we don't really need it, right? We don't need all of it.
You
We
could
can
land
land
bank
bank the front, maybe.
Land banking the front?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see here, there's a notation about potential cross-access under a separate application. So we would work with the applicant and Burger King to see if we can get that cross-access constructed.
Great.
But obviously, this is what we wanted, particularly if we land bank these extra
Mm-hmm.
stalls. I think this is consistent with what we wanted. So if they give
Perfect.
us the revised plans, we can complete the secret and then get this moving along.
She was taking that chair.
You take her chair.
You want to roll the
You have the hard chair, there's the other one. So do you have any elevations? Do you know what the buildings will look like?
We don't, because to redraw the buildings and engineer the buildings was significant cost. We wanted to get this
Oh, yeah,
past the
yeah.
planning board
No.
first, because we had paid the last buildings. We wanted to make sure this was the right direction first before we spend, you know.
I think we're all in agreement
Yeah,
that this is exactly what we were looking for.
yeah. What kind of style were you thinking of as far as?
We hadn't got to the architect. I mean, we liked the last style of the building, but they're not gonna work on
Yeah.
3 separate buildings, so.
If you touch base with the ARB, they might have give you some feedback.
Yeah, we'll figure out what.
That'll be part of the
Yeah,
process.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think it's great. Do you have any questions for us?
So I think the plan now would be to get the elevations and the sets in place and then apply. I'm assuming this would be the final, right? We're considering,
Yeah, you give us the revised plans, the fully engineered everything that needs to be done, and then we'll get the secra completed. And then we can schedule for hearing and then
perfect.
go down the road to get you approval.
You're almost paid if you get some, like, with the elevations, get it sketched first before you commit a lot to, engineering and architecture,
The
and even
site,
come back
the
with.
engineering of the site's the bigger expense on that, because we had a whole fully engineered site plan with like septic drainage, which now changed. The architecture is less, but it'll be dependent on the layout of
Right.
tenants.
Right, but
Okay.
just so you get some feedback from
Yeah.
us. But, great, thank you very much.
Terrific.
Appreciate it. Carl, anything more?
That's it.
Thank you. Good to see you.
You too?
We'll get the final submission ready.
Yeah,
Thank you all.
thanks. Seth? Is Seth here?
Yes, right here.
I didn't see you. You want to do Vanderbilt Park?
The applicant asked for it to be moved.
Okay, it's off the agenda. So we're out of the work session and we're back into the regular session. And, is Claire here?
She's downstairs, but I'm.
Okay, she's doing Anthony, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was asked. This is
Okay.
just to reschedule the public hearing to June 11th. That's
This
for
is-
Cash Car. Subdivision at Canoe Place, 2-lot subdivision, R20.
Rescheduled to June 11.
Yes.
Okay, motion
Motion.
by Gloria and second by Dennis. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? 6 in favor, 1 absent. Claire's not here, so we'll just jump down. She's also that. Get that down.
Perhaps I'll go get her.
Yeah, because she's pretty much everything,
Yeah.
almost everything else on the agenda. It's obviously Claire's day.
And Prena is here too, or she left?
A lot of Claire and Prina. Teresa. number
North Edge
18.
Stables is off the agenda. Remember what that is? Huh? North Edge Stables is off the agenda.
Number 12.
Number 12.
There's Claire. Yay.
There's Claire. It's the Claire show today. Claire. So we're up to the Watermill Building Supply?
Yes, and he's just bringing up my box of
Okay.
stuff, so I think I can give you some. Look at.
Can we have your names, please, for the,
Yes, Robert Fischetti,
Fischetti.
attorney for the applicant. We have Rick Wisnowski from Rayner Group here.
Rick Wisnowski, Rayner Group.
And then my client Tom Farrell is on Zoom.
okay.
If we could have him join us.
You're related to Ray Wisnowski?
He's my grandpa's brother.
Okay.
So we're gonna look at the subdivision today. You've looked at this a couple of times. There was a ZBA for the use on the property. The site plan, the town engineer still has some outstanding items to deal with, so we'll do that at the June 11th meeting. The applicant did want to speak to you about possibly doing some site work once the subdivision map is signed, which I thought was pretty reasonable, but you can talk about that too. So you want to do the subdivision first?
Yeah.
Concentrate on that? Okay.
Claire,
Go ahead.
did you all got the Department of Transportation report?
We have their approval. That's
That's an old one
it's an
from
an old one?
December.
Yeah, so we have
Okay.
their approval since then.
Because I
We
thought,
didn't
oh my
get-
lord, you know?
We didn't get a formal response at this stage. So I wanted to include that with you. just to
Okay.
have some baseline, but to have an approval.
We submitted a copy of the approval, one of the many submissions.
Okay, great.
So I can reference that approval in this. I haven't yet, but I will.
Good. And then we got some questions from the CAC and Watermill.
Yeah, you want me to read those in the record?
Yeah, and Mr. Fischetti can respond
Okay.
to some of those, because they're pretty straightforward.
So yeah, we'll go back to the findings, but first, you can see on page 2 and 3 there are a lot of notes, that mostly related to the site plan the site plan. The subdivision, had some updates, that were met, and so the town engineer has indicated approval for the subdivision map.
We did submit an updated set of plans just like yesterday to address the site plan comments from the town engineer, but understandably, they haven't gotten to confirm it all, but we did address those comments and submit an updated plan.
So, and then with regard to the CAC comments, do you want me to just read it in the record?
Yeah, they just had a couple of, some questions.
Building appearance, right?
Well, they have, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. With building appearance, the applicant proposed construction of 2 new buildings totaling 33,450 square feet, largely comprising of warehouse space, but also including 5,000 square feet retail space for plumbing supplies that fronts on the highway and is visible from the road. Proposed siding material for those buildings is corrugated metal panel of cherry color. This is the kind of siding often seen in industrial parks. Watermill is a quiet historic hamlet with a community of homes, farmland, and some small businesses in the commercial area. It is not an industrial park. The planning board should consider requiring the applicant to use siding compatible with our historic area, at the very least for building number 2.
So building number 2 is the new building
It's gonna be on lot 2, I guess. right?
on lot 2.
That's on lot 2.
Right,
That's-
and
we
and what were
have-
the elevations on that?
Yeah, we had looked at all of those in the past, and you were, I don't want to speak for you, but you were pleased with them.
Yeah.
And they complement the building that's already there, the Watermill, which was renovated just a handful of years back.
The other building?
Yes, the
hardware-
one that
hardware
existed,
store, yeah.
exactly, yeah, and that, was definitely well-received as far as the look of it.
That's sort of black and gray, as I remember, right? not cherry color.
Mostly, yeah.
Yes, yeah, it's like a black trim and like the siding is gray.
Gray, yeah. So it's
Not
gonna look.
corrugated metal though, I don't think either, really.
No, I don't think
There's-
so. Well, I mean, this report, of course, is a little late in coming to us because we've really resolved a lot of these issues. The building in the back on the other lot for the storage that's gonna be shingles, I think, or what was that going to be like?
The one in the
I
back.
don't think that's the right building, right? Is it?
No, that is.
No.
it
Yeah,
looks
that's
kind
the
of old.
current building.
Yeah.
I don't know how new.
Very
Oh, okay.
white looking.
Can you make it bigger?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think on the top right of that
think so.
inlay.
There we
Yep.
go.
That's wood.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes, it's gray and wood and white. It's modern, more modern looking, but not. So the new building, the plumbing building is going to look like that?
I believe, yeah.
I didn't bring the
believe
whole
they-
file.
for this,
You think I did bring a full, this is just everything. I don't have the whole file with me.
They don't have.
I didn't think I was talking about the site plan today, but we can grab it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, no, it's okay. Do we need material from there?
For
You
site
need the
plan, yes, but-
samples?
Well, we submitted elevations, throughout the process, and they were reviewed. I mean,
Yeah, we reviewed them and like them, so,
everybody was happy
yeah.
with them. Yeah.
So let's just move on here.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Landscaping, the applicant has no landscaping information other than showing roughly 150,000 square feet of compacted stone mix and concrete around the buildings, plus one tree besides a new loading dock. As to a highway buffer, there's currently only a grass strip between the existing building supply building and Montauk Highway, which the property faces. However, there's a substantial growth of trees and vegetation bordering the highway immediately to the east in front of where the new plumbing supply building is to be built. This existing growth would provide a visual buffer and reduce the apparent overall size of the project for anyone driving by. The applicant proposes to cut out roughly 20% of this growth to accommodate a proposed new 3-lane highway, meaning that the huge size of the project would become visible and clear to the residents of Rose Hill Road, which is directly across the highway. There would be a direct sight line into the plumbing supply building for anyone driving out of Rose Hill Road or on Montauk Highway. The CAC requests that the existing vegetation be preserved. Could the proposed entrance be moved to the west to accommodate that? What landscaping will be required to buffer all the parking that is located in the front of the building? Are there landscape plans that can be viewed by the community?
Okay, so
That was
let's
clearly
just do that.
before this was submitted. This was submitted a while back. That was done by Aris Design in Southampton, which is, as we've talked about from the beginning of this project, the berm in the front stays. That's not going anywhere. There is a rain garden for the southeast corner. And there are plantings that are specified throughout, some in the parking lot along the front. Those existing trees are staying in the front.
Oh,
So we're
can you maintain all of them? Because
I
think one needs
think
to
one
be
had to
removed.
come
One is going to
down,
have to be
but
removed.
the other three that you can see there are
Can you
staying.
save that and put it somewhere?
I don't know.
It's a big, what's the most beautiful thing about passing that property are those trees, the berm and the trees. It's so
Yes,
lovely.
yes.
One right by the pole, utility pole, I believe, is the one.
I think something that big would be probably difficult to replant, but I don't know.
That doesn't look like the site, is that it?
The site, because there's the gas station next door.
Yeah, so all that's staying, yeah, it'd be that one that's just to.
Where you have to put the driveway, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But everything else about the front facade, would remain.
Well, it's now that we have the landscape and the CAC can come take a look at it.
Great. And then lighting and signage, new signage is proposed where there be an additional sign for the plumbing showroom. Are there plans showing the existing proposed signage for the entire complex? Is it supposed to be one sign for the,
Yes, the site plan, the latest site plan shows a sign location. It's right
Right in there.
right
for the
here
New lot.
for the new property. Because we meet
Is it sufficient,
it's
20
far enough
feet?
back that
20 feet back?
Yeah, and our building is far enough back that we're eligible for a street sign, because otherwise you can't see. But it hasn't been designed yet,
Right.
just the location. But that would have to, of course, go through all of the sign review process.
Okay, Claire, you want to go through? I think we've done it. Is that pretty much it?
yeah, and then lighting, they're concerned about the lighting, but we'll review that with the site plan. Make sure that there's no crossover onto residential. Okay?
Yep. So your report now?
Yes, it's a decision.
So the first act we're taking is the subdivision, the site plan isn't ready right now.
Site plan isn't ready, your action deadline's not till June on that. And then we want the town engineer, actually, I realized today, we're also waiting for the fire marshal on that. We have the fire marshal in the subdivision,
Are
so.
there any conditions we're putting on the subdivision that are going to impact the site plan? Are we establishing cross-access now, or?
Yes, that will be part of the
Sure.
subdivision. So it'll be a a reciprocal cross-access between the two sites.
Okay.
Because obviously the driveways work together and the circulation. And then future cross-access to the west and east.
Great. And I had, when I read the report, I had asked for some kind of construction plan, because you're impacting.
There's a phasing, yes, the
A
current
phasing.
site plan has phase 1A, 1B, 2. It goes through how it's gonna start out as far as the curb cut and.
What are you building first, though? Are you going to build a storage
What
in the
what we'd
back?
like
or-
to do, so the front building is happening.
The new building.
First, yes. But what we'd like to do before, once the subdivision map is signed, just to get things going, we'd like to be able to clear the lot and do the curb cut and start working on the front parking, just while we're waiting to work out the details with the town engineer and get the final site plan approval. So we're hoping that along with the subdivision approval today, that we could have a resolution to just begin to clear the area and do the curb cut and start working on that front parking area, because that way it can be used for the workers when they're doing the work and can start to help to add to the
You
circulation.
can't use the other driveway, the existing driveway?
Well, the plan is to build this one, and then this one has to be relocated further east.
Just slightly, though, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it'll end up closing it
Just a
down.
bit,
But it'll
yeah.
end up closing it down, so this would need to be in existence first to be able to be used.
Well, my
while
only
that one's
question is, it's almost Memorial Day. You know, this is,
It's a whole parking lot. I just tell you, I sat for an hour and a half going to Bridgehampton and back.
it's an hour and a half, yeah.
It
I
was,
mean,
it was just a parking lot
it's,
today.
that's 27, so, is there any way you can use the other driveway for you getting in construction-wise and maneuvering around from there?
I think it would be quite difficult. I think a lot of the planning around being able to accomplish getting everything done relies pretty heavily on doing the curb cut to be able to start to access that area and not totally impede that and not overload that existing entrance.
Plus, you have a lot of retail activity in the existing
Yes,
site.
so to mix all of that traffic together, I think would be problematic. That's why we've, sort of the whole kickoff has been sort of centered around being able to do that.
So you're gonna take out that portion of the berm and that tree for this driveway?
Yes, just that section there.
Do you have your state permits yet?
We have, the DOT has approved the plans. The only thing they're waiting on is the contractor's insurance. Once you give that to them, you have 30 days to start. So that's why we've held off on that. But they've confirmed in writing that the plans are fully approved. The SWIP is approved as well.
And this was not approved, but this was sent to the town engineer.
And how long is that work gonna block the lane on 27?
I'm sorry?
How long will that work block the lane? That,
I mean, it shouldn't really block the lane. The only thing, maybe when they're, pouring the asphalt, the DOT is requiring us to get a state certified inspector. So, we'll have somebody out there who, is familiar with that process.
But the work would be, contained to the shoulder and.
Exactly, yeah. We're not gonna, close the lane.
gonna have to close the lane down?
No.
And the same for removing the tree or and whatever else?
Yeah,
you-
I feel like that can be done
interior of the site.
Inside the
out.
property, okay.
In the summer as it goes, it's not gonna, the traffic's not gonna get any better, so, for us to be able
worse.
to. But for us to be able to get that part of it done, the sooner the better to be able to, and that will help us to keep.
I'm
on-
sorry we
keep
waited so long,
interior.
though. I mean, and you can't wait till, well, it's busy in September as well,
Yeah,
so it
September's
doesn't,
bad.
September's bad, even into mid-October.
Yeah.
I
February's
mean,
bad.
it is a good
It's always-
argument to keep the construction traffic separate from the retail, wholesale, well, you, just retail, right?
Well, it's wholesale to
Oh,
these
it's wholesale,
contractors.
yeah, to the contractors, yeah.
But to be able
But
to
to
keep
keep that
everybody separate would be.
purchasing traffic separate from the construction, to me, makes sense.
So how long do you think that will take?
The contractor said 2 weeks for each entrance, I believe.
For each entrance, what's the other one?
Well, just modifying
one has
this
to be
one. So
shifted
this one would
over.
be open when this one's obviously being worked on.
So you're gonna use this for everybody else, but not that one for this?
We'll have
Was
to
just what I was
temporarily.
asking, if you could do that.
We'll sort of have no choice, because in order to be able to move this one, we sort of need them both in existence to be able to touch that one. And in order to get this one's already in existence, so it's really the only way to approach
Can
it.
you hold off on that for a while? I mean, that's why we needed construction phasing, which is why we're talking about it.
Right,
That's-
which
yeah,
was
that's
what
the-
we
yeah,
have.
that's- we
That's
have
what the site plan
sequencing of
shows, and the site, there's a different
this
page for each phase.
phase.
So it would seem to me that this is going to happen in July, right? By the time you get all your permits and SWIP and,
I think we'd be aiming for June, but, you know, it would depend on the SWIP.
Yeah, I mean, that June's only a couple of weeks.
Right.
how long does it take for SWIP, Claire?
Oh, it's not long.
Not long.
No, but it would be subject to town engineer.
You see a big impact there.
I think if you leave it subject to engineering approval, you have that, that make sure that's done correctly, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, do we have engineering approval?
There's obviously the comments, they submitted it a couple days ago and, it needs to be approved, you know, so.
That's gonna be key.
Yeah, so if the engineer, he might have some ideas, because if you then close, say you get this going, and then you close that down, then you've got all the traffic that's going to the hardware store, picking up lumber, coming out this driveway.
Right, well, that would be why we would want to also do this parking lot, so that when this is closed down, everything can go almost as it does today. They just would be going through the parking lot to start out, and then it would be business as usual from here through. So once this is built and we do this parking lot and the connection's made, it's just a matter of redirecting just slightly in the front of the lot. Everything else to the rear would, for now, be the way it operates today. It would just be a temporary closing of this one, you know, while it gets shifted over.
Do you have this all written out for us, for Claire?
And then they're opening up the new one.
Yeah.
It's in the, there's like a sequencing in the site plan.
Yeah, but I mean in language.
We can
We
do
can
that.
prepare like a construction
language.
methodology report
Yeah.
or protocol sequencing.
This is a tough intersection.
So that we
It's Roseville
can
Road.
follow it,
Like a
I
ti- yeah,
mean.
with like a timeline.
We should, yeah, timeline, exactly. We shouldn't have to translate it from the site plan.
Okay.
So the original request was to actually allow that as part of the subdivision approval, but I think you need to consider it on June 11th, is that right?
Their request is that they do that today, to get permission to do this work today.
For the site plan, so the
Yeah,
site
the
plan.
full site plan approval would be on for June 11. We just were hoping, since, you know, doing the curb cut and the, you know, the front parking lot are, you know, what we thought, you know, fairly non-controversial parts of the plan, as far as that we know those have been approved and are not changing. The DOT has approved the curb cut and everything, so we thought, and that was part of our first steps plan, so we were hoping, especially since the board doesn't meet in 2 weeks because of the holiday, you know, with a major project like this, the loss of that time is consequential to us. So we were really hoping to be able to, you know, to get those couple of first steps started now that, once we've.
So my question, or my confusion, came from the point of Jackie's just asked for the construction phasing plan. So do we need to revisit this later in the meeting, or
mean,
do we
could it-
have that to review?
It'd be a construction phasing plan that the town engineer approves as far as the,
Well, he'll have to take a look at it and see if it's doable and whatever he
they've-
suggests, but we would need it as well.
I mean, the town engineer has reviewed and approved the subdivision, which,
But it's the site plan we're talking about. Right, isn't that
right,
what
and
you want?
we've provided comments to the site plan comments. I don't think any of the site plan comments had any concern about the location of the curb cut or the parking lot or anything like that. That's why we were thinking those were not anything that anyone was raising any objections to, and they happened to be our first steps. The town engineer's comments were, mostly about drainage and things like that, and all of those have been addressed in a set of plans that were resubmitted. They understandably haven't had a chance to look through them, but we did respond to all of those. But none of them that I recall had anything to do with the curb cut or the parking lot. So that's why we were hoping.
I feel like it's tough because obviously you want to get going, but then we also have open issues that we discussed from the Watermill CIC that we said we would get to in the site plan process, and they are kind of related to that, so to fully consider it, I'm going back and forth.
What do you think, Claire?
Well, sometimes the curb cuts can be something to do with the subdivision.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think you could do that, subject to the town engineer.
Fold it
The
in.
building of the parking lots, that's more site plan
Yeah.
things. So if you want to limit it to the curb cut work commencing
Mm-hmm.
subject to the town engineer, I think that you could hang your hat on that. That's related to the subdivision.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
So how quickly could you get to the engineer?
Tomorrow.
Oh,
Tomorrow.
Yeah, right away, yeah.
But we could also forward it to the board too, so, once we have that written description.
Yeah.
But it is if we focus it just on the curb cuts,
Right,
I
which is,
think that was part of the secra, part of.
Do you think the clearing and grading and just not putting any asphalt, but just being able to sort of, the basic site prep stuff of, fencing and all those kind of
yeah, because
first
could
stages that
you
they
could do the asphalt from the inside out, can't you? You don't have to, doesn't have to impact 27.
No,
Well, a little bit based on what the DOT is requiring the extents to be. They want us to go up to the shoulder. The stripe.
I'm just thinking, even if you weren't comfortable with, going that far with it before the formal site plan approval, even if we could do the curb cut, which could be shifted over to the subdivision, and then just the site clearing, just to start to get ready to grade the parking lot and things like that, but not actually drop any asphalt or anything like that.
Is there a sidewalk in front of that?
That would be.
Drops.
Yeah, just that kind of stuff. Anything we can do to make use of the time between now and June 11 would.
And are the trucks on the road, or are they internal for this? I keep thinking about.
Nothing would be parked on the road. There's really no plan to shut down any lanes or anything like that. I mean, it really shouldn't be any disruption with traffic at all.
No.
So. Well, I'd be curious to know what the engineer says.
Create the second lot. That's on the second lot, right?
Yes.
Oh, right, so that's a consideration, because we don't have a second lot yet.
Right. It would be
Smaller.
subject to filing
Right.
the map also for the second lot. So,
I don't know how we do the curb cut. Like, we can do the internal stuff, but without claiming any vested interests in our approval, but
Before the map is signed or before it's filed?
when are you trying to get it done?
Well, the idea, and I don't want to speak for anybody, but the idea would be to try to have the resolution for subdivision approval today, and then, we have a couple of conditions, the legal documents and things, but then to get the map signed and filed right away, as soon as.
All right, and with the subdivision, you can do it, because you need access.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, that's what I thought. There was some nexus there. And maybe the clearing and grading would just be the area in the front, and maybe you could delineate that, with a magic marker or something, and
Yeah.
that would
along
be
with
the
your
area.
Along with your timeline, give us some sketches as to what you're regrading here. You're not regrading much, right?
No, it's just getting ready to be able to, to plan things out for the parking lot and the site and everything.
And the berm stays,
The berm stays.
Except for where the curb cut is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we think it can be done via the subdivision, even though we don't have an approved subdivision, right?
Well, that's what's
That's what you're
before
doing.
you today, with some conditions, not a lot, there's some maps, notes, but all doable.
So we can include it in it?
You could do I would do a second resolution.
Okay.
personally, But it's up to you.
Like
Do
an
either way.
expedited, I don't know, what's the best way to do it? What do you think,
I would
Christine?
have, as one of the conditions of the subdivision is that we're allowing the access to be done up to a certain point, and there's no vested rights in.
And like
Okay.
the reasoning behind that,
Standard.
Yeah, as
There
part of the
is-
subdivision.
well, and I think notating the reasoning behind that is to avoid additional traffic burden that would be caused by delaying it. So we're acting in the interest of the town,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah. So we're gonna do that as a separate,
No, she's saying to do it in the same resolution.
same resolution, do it all at
And then
once?
whereas, where the applicant has requested the permission to install the
Commence-
curb cut,
Install the curb cut now.
subject to town engineer approval and a SWIP.
Necessary.
And
And the issuance of a timeline, phasing timeline, and drawing of whatever you present. So do you have all the driveway specs for the engineer?
Yes. Yes, that's all in the plans.
Is he swamped right now, Claire, the engineer?
He's on
He's always
paternity, he's on
swamped.
paternity leave.
I think he comes back on Monday from leave.
Oh, boy.
They just had a little girl.
His the deputy was the one that reviewed this, May Mulaney.
Okay, so there'll be a finding to that fact,
Finding and.
and those
placates language
conditions will
is
be
good.
added to this.
Yeah.
And the map will have to be signed before he commence work.
Can we give
So
an
you'd
end
have to see
date?
it.
Can we give a finish date here
Finish date for the,
for the driveway?
well, they say it was gonna be 2 weeks for each one, right?
Well, let's just deal with the one,
Uh-huh.
right? I'm not sure about the other one, because why do we need to do that now when we're concentrating on this?
When you contract that kind of work, to be able to do it, I mean, correct me
Yeah,
if
and the
I'm wrong,
DOT permit is covering both curb
I
cuts.
think it requires,
That's like the completion of their work is,
to be able to
I think we're
close out
fixing
that
some of the
Can't close out the
sidewalk.
one permit.
yeah, it's all one permit. That moving that was a condition of the approval, so it's sort of all one.
So now how do we deal with that? The other driveway, do we have to approve that now?
I mean, that's already a driveway we have vested rights in and DOT approval to move.
You'll have a site plan decision prior to that one being commenced, right? The west curb cut, most likely.
I would think by the time we file the map and do the other curb cut, yeah, I mean, it's
Then the
just so
site
much we'll
plan
be
will have
able
to
to.
comply with the DOT requirements, so.
Which it does, yes, it's
which
all.
we're using their guidance on that.
So let's just deal with this with language now, with the subdivision, and that condition, and that finding.
And then we'll be back in front of you in June 11th to.
Yeah, I know, like, I think just to not set a precedent that we include site plan business in subdivision, the contracted work for the 2 curb cuts with DOT and engineer approval, for the reason that we're entering into a heavier traffic season and we don't want to delay that. I think, you know, that is the precedent that we're setting, is that there is a specific reason that we're doing it, but that's not our business normally, how we would proceed, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can you
Yeah.
keep Claire advised as to where you are in the process? Because that's
for sure, yeah.
important. You
Absolutely.
know, we're entrusting you with that.
Motion.
Claire, you got enough to write?
Oh, I do. And I have your, obviously, I'll be watching this again and making sure my notes are correct.
Okay. All right, do you need to go over any other parts of this now?
No,
Yeah.
like, there's
No?
4 mapping items. There will be a hydrant on the west entrance. That was the fire district. The covenants, no further but all typical 3-inch, and then the future cross-access, the reciprocal cross-access. The SWIP, of course, the town engineer, and then the conditions that we would laid out in the 4 sets of plans.
Have you filed for the SWIP?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. As soon as you can, please, with that phasing plan, and that's really critical to us. Okay, we need a motion to move this as amended, right? Motion by Dennis, second by Gloria, and all in favor? Opposed, abstentions?
Oh,
5 in favor, 1 abstention, 6 in favor, 1 abstention, and 1 absent. Okay, it's in your hands.
I think it's 5 in favor.
Thank you very much.
5 in favor.
5 in favor, 1 abstention,
1 absent.
and 1 absent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, clarity, thank you. Do you want to do MRN for Anthony?
Yes.
I always forget about giving back the documents.
MRM Ventures LLC.
Is someone here for that? Someone on
Someone's
Zoom for
coming.
that?
Yep, someone's here.
Oh, yes? Oh, great.
Or Beauvais.
Okay, just introduce yourself.
My name is Ralph Romano for the applicant.
Ralph Amato?
Romano.
Romano.
Here's Anthony's staff reports, decision on this. Did I just put a plan in the middle? Are you familiar with the site? This is the one with Goldberg Bagels?
Yes. mhm.
Okay, they're using the ends.
Opposite
units.
Speedway.
It's the end thing. Teresa will have it, has it up.
Yeah, great. So this, I just want to put this in frontage, just in case they want to refer to it.
It's the end, the very end, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Westerly end or the
westernmost.
westerly end?
Yeah.
The two,
2 vacant leases.
Units
Westerly
14
and
and
or
15,
easterly,
there
do we know?
currently, there is no divising wall between the two, so they're currently.
but
combined,
it's,
but yeah,
it looks like it could be two separate stores.
From the outside,
Yeah.
yes, because all the signage was
But
done.
it'll be one.
Yes, it'll be one. And the signage will remain the same.
Okay, Claire.
So yeah, we'll go through this. Town engineer had no additional comments. This is page 2, the Office of Fire Prevention, submitted plans. Proposed work should not impede emergency vehicles, exterior and nasty finish to obstruct access. Drainage and septic to be relocated out of the roadway or capable of supporting heavy apparatus. Dumpsters enclosed, vehicle impact protection, utilities, fire zones.
Is there any infrastructure in there now? Is there drainage and all of that?
On the site?
Yes.
The
it's
entire
a-
site's developed. We're not, the only thing we're actually doing to the site itself is restriping the parking lot. Most of the striping is heavily faded, and we're also adding 2 truck loading zones to bring the parking lot into compliance. But nothing is being touched with draining. The only asphalt work is doing is DPW is requiring us to redo the asphalt aprons along County Road 39, as well as increase the curb return radii for both driveways. So we're just doing what DPW is asking of us.
Right.
Right, which is the next page 3. They have a lot of changes with the site plan. Because it's not, doesn't have that, to get into there, you have to kind of go really fast to get into the site. I
No
just did
turning
it.
lane.
Yeah,
Into the
exactly.
main area? To
To
the main?
the, yeah, so it's a one, in and out, but they're wide because you need
Yeah.
to get that, you're going quite fast to get into the site. So these are changes, hopefully improve the the in and outs and make it clearer to people that there's an in and out and not, because today also somebody came in the out because they can't see the sign or they don't know the striping is there.
Okay.
The only thing here is that further on in the report, Anthony rightly pulls out, we no left-hand turns out of the site.
No
So there's
left-hand.
gonna be a sign, it'll be a condition. I wasn't yet, but he said he missed it, so we're gonna have that as a condition of approval.
So there are two in and outs, right? Or is one in and one out?
Supposed to be in. and
That's
it's supposed to
only
be
in,
out.
right?
Yeah, there are 2 lanes each drive, with 2-lane width. I think that's to allow, the reason also DPW wants us to widen the curbs is so that when trucks are pulling in, they don't have to brake as hard on County Road 39, which will help the flow of traffic. We have no trucks for our use, but just for the shopping center itself.
They're using your application to fix.
Yes, it seems so, yeah. The burden has fallen on us.
Yeah, so that's great. So they'll obviously need help to, DPW approval.
Do
and
they
permits.
have cross-access to Tuckahoe Road? Or Tuckahoe, whatever it is? To the.
There
to
is
the-
actually a way of getting
the
out
west.
there. Yeah, they do.
Oh, to the east, you mean?
Boatyard,
It's east, yeah.
I think behind the boatyard there
Yeah,
is.
they do have cross-access
Okay.
to the east, yeah.
Not that that's such a, that's not much better left turn.
No,
No.
It's kind of the same, yeah.
not at all. Okay. So then we have to do the special exception standards?
Right, so it's not inappropriately close to a school or anything like that. That's a flat area sufficient. Proposed uses will not have the use of the adjoining properties. Is suitable, is not located near the church school, I said that. And then it meets the definition of non-medical marijuana, or sorry, cannabis. Access facilities, obviously, we're doing the changes with the DPW. Curb cut permit, so indicates 93 parking spaces, more than adequate, and they're indicating the new striping that you said. Buffers not changing. Sanitary system doesn't need to be upgraded or anything like
No,
that,
we're
right?
not touching the sanitation.
Do you have a copy of this report?
The report, I've reviewed it ahead of time.
Okay.
Did you want a copy?
Yeah, you
Oh,
should have a
sure,
copy.
And then no outdoor sales lots. And then the special safeguards, related to it.
Project will require securing a curb cut permit from Suffolk County DPW?
Yes, so they'll have to have a permit to do the work on the property. Yep. So the non-medical cannabis has a bunch of conditions related to it. There'll be conditions of the site plan approval. The one question with this one is that we had we had an application for a pre-submission across the street. As far as we know, that there's no conflict there, but the guidance is whatever OCM wants to do in this case, so.
We don't have an active
We don't have an
application right now,
active
so,
application.
so it's
Active
not in our hands right now.
Right, exactly. So we're proceeding with the active application that is before you. Yes, exactly. So I didn't see anything else. Did you have any questions? Obviously, there's all these standards that will become part of the decision and the conditions, which I'll read into the record. Did you have anything else? It's an existing site, so there's not the usual site plan issues.
Not a whole lot going on.
Yeah, and there's nothing, no residential nearby.
There's no residential nearby.
How does it work with the signage? It said no more than 2 signs because they're taking up 2 units. They can have 2 signs versus 1 for the,
It's just a typical, yeah.
or maybe because there's isn't there roadside also? Plus
There's
on,
one roadside sign, but
Right.
it's not for any of the businesses, it just says 801 Plaza.
Right.
So
Oh,
it
that's
signifies
right.
the shopping center
okay.
itself,
Yeah, that's,
There would only then be the one sign on the building. then.
right. So is that something you'd want to change in there?
Yeah, is that under signage for the exterior? Okay, signage.
Not more than 2 signs, maybe
Maintaining
cut
Page
outside.
10.
So, and they-
That's the code, so it just says signage is subject to review and approval, and you don't know your signage yet, right?
We actually did submit a preliminary, but it's the exact same style of the shopping center.
They have a-
Every
they
store,
have a
it's
sign
black
plan.
lettering, the same font, the same black on a white background.
and is it
That
one
shopping
sign
center
across
has
the two?
has a sign.
So it's not a Xerox.
Yeah.
The question is, are you going to keep 2 signs or just convert to 1 sign?
Based upon what the town will allow us, I mean, it would be beneficial if we were able to split the wording on the signage into two, because we are at the westernmost point. It's a little bit difficult for people to see it, but if the planning board decided only one sign was permissive, we would be okay with that.
Okay.
Is this it? No, this is not it.
That's the interior.
Do you wanna see if you can find it?
That's not it.
This is the entire file. So that's the code, which this says no more than 2 signs. It just, the response is that you review the sign, but obviously if they have the proposed sign, you can take
Yeah,
a look
I
at
mean,
it right now.
the way it looks, they're each individual. I'm not sure how you put one sign across.
Right, yeah, it might be
Yeah, we were
problematic
contemplating
installation.
doing one sign across, but the landlord wasn't also a fan of that, and he did mention that the entire site has the approval of like that facade exactly, so just to keep things simple, we're gonna be maintaining. I think the previous drawing submitted showed the concept of them both being combined, but we'll be keeping one or the other sign.
Do you wanna look at it after the fact? Okay, we'll just leave it as a condition.
You
So
could
bring.
also email it in.
Yeah, email it in and we'll take a look at it separately. Okay, that's good. We'll leave that as a condition to
It
remove the
will
sign.
match the remainder though, that's without question.
Yep.
And what will be on the sign? Just the,
So that's the one thing we haven't settled on yet, is a name. Yeah, there seems to be
MRM?
3 partners.
That's gonna
and
be
they all have the
MRM.
best name idea, yeah. There will
MRM,
be something classy
MRM
and
Adventures probably doesn't
speak
work.
of nature, Southampton, yeah.
Okay, so you wanna look at the resolution? The conditions will be submission of a safety management plan, that's per the code. The applicant should provide adequate security and code compliant lighting. The areas to be covered by security cameras include limited and describes that. All signage is subject to the planning board review and ARB review, and then lists the standards. The applicant should take all reasonable steps to secure and correct objectionable conditions. The applicant shall submit copies of licenses and permits. On-site consumption of cannabis products prohibited. Drive-through window service is prohibited. Hours of operation on the site shall be 10 to 9 p.m. Delivery service shall be subject to the same hours of operation. And then, this would be the site plan approval. That was a special exception standards approval. So changes to the site plan, the first one will be the notation related to, the no left-hand turn sign to be installed, okay?
so we're gonna look at the signs?
Yep.
And we should really indicate that there should be no ground signs. One of these facilities has 5 lawn signs
Okay.
and a truck.
So, general condition number 1 should be, no brown signs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Signs besides the existing.
But the wall sign, they have a wall sign and they have an exterior sign. But no in-ground.
Yeah, that monument sign will just be the remaining 801 Plaza.
Yeah, I'll just reference that as, okay. So that'll be condition A, 2A, and then the engineering approval, fire prevention approval, health department, public works requirements, and the show the dumpster and screening details. Additional general conditions, the final maps will be signed, signage subject to plan board review, screening of HVAC mechanical systems. The lighting shall conform, no dusk to dawn lighting fixtures, additional lighting review, shielded. Security cameras are located within parking lots are not permitted. Attain all required permits from the DPW. Town engineer approval of the final map, submission of affidavit, pre-construction meeting, and 6 sets of plans. For your consideration. You're welcome, no problem, you can have it.
So where are we with this? This is not for discussion, this is where,
This is for an action.
Action.
Would approve special exception site plan for MRN Ventures.
any other questions? Okay, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Gloria, second by David. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions?
Yes,
5
I
in favor,
abstain.
1 abstention, and 1 absent.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then number 7, obviously, we've talked about watermelon building supply. This will be off until June 11th.
Do we need, no extension or anything?
No, it's the action deadline's not until
Okay.
June. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Claire, you have Bentley Hotel. Is there an applicant for the Bentley Hotel here?
Yep.
Yes, please. Can I have your name for the record?
Mark Notoff, for the applicant.
Mark?
Mark Notoff, K-N-O-T-O-F-F.
You will not pass
And?
those.
Ken Patel.
Spell it.
P-A-T-E-L.
Slower, please.
Ken, K-E-N. Patel,
Oh,
P-A-T-E-L.
Patel, okay, yes.
So this is an application for an existing motel, 40 units. Bentley, it's off of Hill Station Road. They built a couple of years ago an office space, and now they're proposing to take that office space and the basement and convert it into a restaurant that would be serving, in their words, serve just the patrons of the property. This is the pre-submission. It was, the conference was March 26th. And so this is the existing site plan, and then this is the floor plan that they provided. So if you want to
This was rezoned, Claire?
This was rezoned. This was originally residential, R20, and rezoned very recently to zoning district. So the use on the face of it, if they did a freestanding restaurant, would be permitted, but the site is already quite densely improved, because if this was a hotel in a motel district, you'd be permitted 10 units on the property, not 40. So they do have a lot of density related to the motel use on the property.
So how many units are in there now?
40.
40, and you were permitted at 40, or are you over?
It's pre-existing non-conforming at 40. They have a CO.
They have a CO at
Yes.
40.
Yes. And they have sufficient parking for the use. So it's 1 space per unit. They have 53 spaces, and it also accounts for like employees on the property. So they do have sufficient parking for the use, but it is.
But not for the restaurant.
But the restaurant, if they did it as a separate use, that would be a question, like what would be the rated occupancy? You would have to assess that. So that's one of the questions.
So this would be a restaurant only for the guests and not open to the public,
Correct.
and you would indicate that as such?
Yep.
I don't know how we,
You do a covenant,
mm-hmm.
and then, you would go from there if you were inclined to do that. But I would say it would also include like no signage.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
signage, no restaurant.
One of the open questions that we had, I think you were going to look into, was with the Suffolk County Department of Health Services. The flow is one element, which we discussed, but then the grease trap and kind of the permitting of the sanitary system for a restaurant versus just the general use. Did you get an answer on
We
that?
would have to, a grease trap is required for any restaurant, so yes, there will be a grease trap included.
Okay.
Have you applied to?
Oh, yeah. Right?
Yeah, health department, we're just waiting for secret. That's all they need.
Yeah, they're asking CEQA from you folks.
Oh, so we don't know if it would get approved
Right.
because we're not, yeah.
But we have an approval from the health department pending secret.
For the flow of
Yes,
a
yeah.
40-seat restaurant?
Yes.
Have
We are,
have you submitted that at all?
Yeah, we have a, what is the,
we're converting it to a IA system.
You would install an IA system for
Yes.
all the units on the property? Or just the
Can-
restaurant?
I think,
no, just for the restaurant.
just for the restaurant.
Is the property over on density for the health department?
I'm not sure. I'm not involved in the health department.
Okay, that would be something we would need for secret purposes. So I would say, that would be on number 2, which is like one action.
Yeah, so like there's, we would probably need some kind of predetermination from the waste management, but also food safety, right?
Right.
Who handles that in your end? Are you handling it?
Our engineer, but, I mean, we have.
You don't have to answer the question right
Yeah,
now.
okay.
Don't
Yeah,
worry
yeah,
about
okay.
this. This is
To know and have it
questions to be brought
documented
up.
here, I think.
We're giving you guidance,
Okay,
like
gotcha.
how to proceed. So I'm gonna say, should we go over the preliminary
Yeah,
issues?
sure.
Okay. I'm gonna say, I just describe the application.
Let's go down the
Yeah,
issues.
so 1 is the description, 2 is it's a type 1 action, that would be because the parking spaces would be over 50. And then transportation and groundwater, which was related to the sanitary systems. I would say a traffic study should be required in this case, but it's up to you whether a traffic study, traffic analysis, what would you want?
I'd like to point out that if the clientele at the hotel do not have to leave the facilities to go get dinner, it would actually reduce traffic.
We need some facts related to that, whether it's an analysis or study, it's up to you.
Right.
But we still
Otherwise,
need,
they would have to leave to,
To get the food, get to the restaurant, right, they would have to drive there versus if they eat at the hotel.
that's true. That
It's reducing the
that
traffic.
intersection
is,
It's the worst.
is the worst. Exactly. There, it's a high accident count.
yeah.
They are getting on to 27.
So we're trying to keep people on site.
Right.
How many seats in the restaurant?
45.
45, okay.
So there's 40 units at the hotel, and they're all really family-sized units.
Yeah.
And you only have, the restaurant only capacity of 40.
Right,
Is that what it is? Okay.
yeah, I mean, not
You're
everyone
not
will be
expecting
eating.
everybody to eat, okay. Okay.
But I mean, common sense that it would reduce the traffic, actually,
Yeah,
versus.
that's
Well, I
true.
still think we need some kind of an analysis because it leads into, there's in and out, people coming in and out. And they're not going to take the road that goes over to the other side.
I mean, that's one of the things we're looking for is signage. These are people not familiar with the areas. At 27 West, you're exiting that parking lot, you wouldn't make a left,
You
make a
cannot.
right,
You make a right.
and then go down, what is it, Long Springs?
Long Acre. But there's, right now, there is no sign on Hill Station and 39. It says no left turn. There should be, but there is nothing.
Should be.
So
That
right
would
now,
be-
the safest way is to go down Long Acre and go around.
Should we do a traffic study and then recommend out of the traffic study to the
kinda know.
town board to put a sign?
Yes?
Can we do that?
That
That
would
would
be
be
the finding for
The sign
that.
we can impose now.
Because I agree with what they're saying, that
You don't
there's
want
gonna be
left
less
turns out of
traffic,
those stations.
but if the traffic study
But
that
the
we'll
town
do
board has
would
to
help
approve it.
with a no left turn sign on that corner,
Right.
it'd be safer
Mandate
for
the
all
no
your
left
people.
turn, but we can mandate the sign on this site, because you could have transient visitors who may not know how to get on 27 West. Their inclination is to go make, oh, there's a 27, let's make a left. We don't want them to make the left, we want them to make the right, go down, is it
Longview.
Longview, that's it, Longview, Peconic, over the bridge, hit the service road.
That's currently how we, instruct our guests to, when
Is there signage to that effect?
No, we just verbally communicate
Yeah, I
with them,
think
so that way, I mean, we don't have
We'd be
hundreds of
looking for
guests coming in and
signage.
out, we have very few customers that go in.
We'd be looking for signage, 27 West,
Yeah.
arrow.
Right, yeah. Makes sense, yeah.
I think we need some kind of traffic analysis, Claire.
Analysis or study? That's the question.
So would the study enable us to then impact the signage closer to 39 versus an analysis, or either one would?
Give you
We can't,
analysis, no left
because
turns.
we can't require them to do stuff off-site, so. if it's an
Right,
issue-
okay.
We have to look at the impact of their site
Yeah.
on stuff and keep those measures within their confines.
Yeah, the sign would go on your site.
Yeah.
We can't mandate any sign off the
No,
site.
like Dennis was saying, no
So
left
the study's
entrance
not
onto
gonna-
27.
The study's not gonna help us go to the town and say, can we get a no left turn?
That's separate and apart from something
Okay.
else, but
Right.
not on their.
Okay.
So just trying to get to the pros and cons of either approach. Can you enlighten us?
I mean, there's no doubt there's going to be increased traffic. I mean, you have 40 rooms. 2 people to a room, right?
No, but the.
So then
the-
you have a restaurant that only seats 40. So you are going to have people coming and going from there.
No more than ever staying there.
Yeah, only the guests who are staying there have access to the restaurants.
Right, but usually there's 1 or 2 people in a room, right? You have 40 rooms. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're,
And so if
they're large rooms.
So there are 2 people in a room, that's 80 people. Your restaurant only holds 40.
Correct.
Right.
But currently, every guest that stays here goes out to eat.
Well, half of them now will, because you
It's a
can't,
reduction.
you can't
So it's a
accommodate
reduction.
them.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
In traffic, or trips.
The reduction in
If
traffic.
they can attract the residents of the hotel to eat, then there'll be a reduction
40
in traffic.
may, 40, but, I
Well,
mean, I just see it as the opposite. Then you've got 40 people who are going out.
No, but you would have had 80 people going
I
out, so.
I don't disagree.
It's
I
definitely a
disagree with
reduction.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
numbers-wise, well, I defer
Yeah.
to you for the math.
Well, you know, I prefer facts, and I just feel like if we're doing restriction with a covenant saying, you know, it would increase traffic if this was a public
Yes.
restaurant. And I feel like a study would just give you all those facts rather than an analysis.
Yes.
That's my
Right.
opinion. If you want to do an analysis, in any case, I think we should get some, you know, somebody to
Right.
look at it in any case.
And there's no doubt that if it's limited and there's signage that the restaurant is limited to the guests, there's no way that we can enforce that.
No.
It just isn't. So it could be the hottest restaurant in the West, you know, this summer, and then we've got a big problem. So that's what we're trying to look
I
at,
understand
you know?
the problem.
Yeah.
We have that restaurant up the road by, it's in Argentina, by Sandy Hollow Road. You know, the motel opened up about 10 years ago. I don't think we placed restrictions on that. Just freestanding restaurant.
Hotels by the
You
Capri.
can impose a restriction,
We can, and we will.
yes. I mean,
But you're right, enforceability is.
enforceability is the issue.
So traffic study.
Yeah.
I agree.
And that'll also take into account food truck deliveries and staff deliveries, right?
Oh, yeah.
And,
that
I mean,
would-
staff
yeah.
in and out.
That's a good point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and staffing, I don't have any inclination of how many employees this would be, you know, for a restaurant
Have you
operating on a property.
anticipated
Oh, but-
employees?
Yes, we're expecting, I mean, it's a small restaurant, and honestly tell you, the hotel business, restaurant business generally is not very busy. People don't go from outside to eat at a hotel restaurant usually. The hotel guests usually go out to eat somewhere, especially if you're coming to a destination like this. So unfortunately, we don't anticipate to be too busy in general. You know, that's the way hotel business is and the restaurant business in hotel is. So, I mean, at any given time, maximum, we're looking at maybe 4 or 5 additional employees at max, if that's, you know, makes sense.
Do you have a
Because we're gonna
chef? Do you have-
combine our front desk with the receptionist, so that way we can manage who's staying there, you know, and they're the only one who's allowed to eat there. So that's combined function there. It's a small office, you know, small area. So some of the employees will be co-shared between the hotel and the restaurants.
And then you also have service for the rooms?
Initially, no, we're probably not gonna have it, but even if we do, it will be very minimal.
So these units are not functioning as like summer seasonal rentals, right?
The hotel? Yeah, it is. It's open 24, I mean, year round.
Transit use.
It's for transit
Yes,
only.
yes.
What she's asking is whether people can book a room for the entire summer. And I suppose they can if they
Yeah,
wanted to.
Why not? But we do have a
Is that what
restriction
you're
of
asking? Is that, you said seasonal, I thought you meant,
Isn't that in the code?
You got different things for extended stay. I don't think this is an extended stay. This is a transient
Right, yeah.
hotel.
not extended stay, right? And we're writing in there that there will be no signage or advertisement for this restaurant. Of course. Right?
But if somebody comes in, they're not gonna be turned away. It's a cash restaurant.
Meaning the hotel guests?
Yeah.
You know, of course.
Not
hotel
just the hotel guests. I mean, if I decided, oh, I really need a cup of coffee, I'm on my way somewhere, I could pop in and get a cup of coffee, presumably, right?
Not really, no.
You charge to the room?
Yeah, and also the reception, where you enter the restaurant, it's a shared, and the reception is shared between the hotel, and so we know who's checked in and who's not in the hotel.
And the restaurant is serving what, breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yes.
3 meals.
Mhm.
And right now, do you have any food machines,
Just the vending machines.
vending machines? That's in the reception area.
Correct.
And the reason to do the restaurant is because your
It's-
partner requires it?
Right, the Hyatt,
That's it,
is we partnered with, they're our franchisor, and their requirement is to have a full service restaurant there.
So it's their requirement.
Yes, it is, and we would like to have one too. Because I mean, that, the hotel, we're trying to make it a boutique style getaway destination, so, you know, it makes sense to have a food service there. People look forward to that kind of stuff.
Okay, Claire, shall we continue it down the list?
Yeah, so I just described the motel use, the restaurant use, which I'll add the number of employees, and then it serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The parking I described. Sustainability, is there any provisions?
Sustainability.
They're gonna put an IA system in, right?
We're putting an IA system in.
It's under sanitary
you know,
systems.
LED lighting. It's going to be a heat pump.
Yeah, we have already all fully LED
Are you redoing the parking
lighting
lot?
in the hotel. All the heating, air conditioning is heat pump based, so, you know,
Are you in the process of doing that?
no, it's already done. It's fully
It's already built.
built, like.
No, I know that, yeah.
So we're very energy efficient, actually, probably the most energy efficient you will probably find in other hotels over here right now. Because it is an all new system that we have installed.
If, is there an opportunity, is the current, because it's pre-existing non-conforming, is the current lighting dark sky compliant? with the
Yes,
code?
the lighting out.
Okay.
Do we need to do a landscape plan or a site plan? We've already done it when we built the building.
When was that? What
A
year?
few years ago, 3 years ago.
I'll have to look at that. Let me look.
What we'll do is we'll revise the site plan and add the signage.
Okay. I'm sorry, you said the lighting would have to be brought into conformance.
Right,
Okay.
if it isn't.
Yep.
We can come take a site visit here, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are you one of the owners, Mr. Patel?
Yes, ma'am.
The owner, or are you?
One of the owners.
I've actually been there.
Oh, you have, okay.
Yes.
And so have you, right?
Friends stay there.
Oh, good, okay. I hope you like it.
And so have mine.
It was very lovely.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, it's a credit to the neighborhood, no question.
It's in a
And the
not a
redo.
very lovely spot, but the facility is very lovely.
Good. So we got, yeah, a lot of comments. Good. I'll put the signage, the lighting, the signage for 27 East.
27 West.
West.
And you've got a review of the septic and all that stuff, because they want to put an IA system in for the restaurant, but those 40 rooms have the flow they need.
Yeah, that's
Since-
part of your
since-
secret is what, are they already over on the flow and then are you adding anything additionally? Right. 600 total. Okay.
Yeah, I'm questioning whether we have an opportunity to do more with septic.
Oh, yeah, that's part of your secret.
So
So
that's.
there,
what-
we're gonna have to definitely review that and make sure that that's something. Yep.
So the green area is in the back of the building. Is that used for anything?
Just green space, outdoor events.
And all the parking is in the front?
Yes,
How big are the units? Are they all the same size?
pretty much all seems
They're all identical or mirrored.
Oh, and they're like 200 square feet, 400 square feet?
No, about 350-ish.
350.
They're
You
quite
should give
large.
us a breakdown.
Yeah. I just wanna, yeah, I just wanna know. That makes a
Claire, on
difference.
the signage, I think, just putting a sign, I agree that you should go right to go to 27, but there's nothing on Longview that tells people 27. So if you send people right out of the parking lot, they're gonna get lost. So we need like advice from the highway department, what's the right sign to put up there?
Oh, right.
Because they'll go right out of the parking lot and then they'll end up going down to Old Montauk Highway because they don't know where to go.
Well, then take a right and then
Yeah,
there is sign.
there is no
there
sign on Longview that says 27, and they can't put it up, it's not their property.
Maps as they
Oh, we can also.
Can mandate, but can they, are they allowed to apply to the highway department, put up a sign? It's not a
They
mandate.
can ask, but I mean, with the
Town should do it.
phone systems and GPS, all the
Yeah,
different ways
one
they
hopes.
direct them.
So,
Who's gonna look at the signs?
let's talk about the IA system for the whole facility
Oh, yeah. That might be part of your analysis
Yeah.
for secra.
in secret. So, I mean, they can anticipate that. I mean, we would want that with 40 units.
Yeah, and there is money. So you might be able to petition the town to get a grant to upgrade your whole site for a sanitary system for IA, where they pay for it. So consider that.
We're just on septic now, each unit is a septic?
I'm sorry?
Each unit is on a separate septic?
Yeah.
Right, well, we would look at, a secret review, an IA system for the entire facility.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I was
When you
thinking
re-
too
when
with
you
the dark
redid it
skies,
3
like
years
anything
ago?
that's not compliant, that was pre-existing,
not the sewer
non-conforming,
system.
should be brought into
Oh, I didn't
compliance if they're
realize that. I
making
thought they
changes
did
here.
We have mechanisms to entice people, not entice people, but to actually facilitate this to happen.
There's some grant money.
And it's not far from the water. I mean, really, it's just across the
Yeah,
street.
yeah.
So, yeah, okay. I'm gonna put that as a
And
comment.
the code changed where almost everything is acceptable now for,
Yes.
for the grant money, not just the stuff that's close to the water.
Yep.
And you do have space on that green area, which is why I asked about that. If you did install,
that's where it's presently.
but I mean, if you put it in an IA system for the entire unit, for the entire hotel and restaurant.
Claire, that area's got a dip, doesn't it?
No,
Flat, got green?
that's where the sanitary system is now, so they would just be taking it up and
Taking it out,
and
yeah.
replacing it. But yeah, it's worth pursuing. Yeah, great,
Okay.
no, good comments. I'll adopt the report as amended and I'll send it to you.
So, nothing
Great.
today, no action.
Oh, no, I can adopt it and then give you the new copy. Yeah.
You want to do that? Are we up against an action deadline here?
Yes. It would be before June 11th, so yes.
This is the pre-submission conference report, yeah,
Right,
okay.
it's guidance, it's
pre-submission.
not everything, but
Yeah.
I think you guys,
Yeah.
I think you
So,
included a lot of
and
good
you'll
points.
send it to us, Claire?
I definitely will.
Great, thank you. Okay, so a motion to adopt this by Kate, second by Gloria, and all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 5 in
Claire?
favor, 1 abstention, and 1 absent.
Shoot me
Okay,
an email and I'll give you a fresh copy. of it.
thank you.
Okay? Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Claire, don't go away.
Why would I go away?
This
I
is
thought
the,
I saw you get up. Bridgehampton Commons, Target.
Like shutting the
this
lights.
Claire Day.
Yep, it is Claire Day.
Yeah.
Where are ya?
Meeting Dennis? Hello. Can I have your name to the record?
Yes, Taylor Gonzalez with the law firm Porcelli Deegan Tarana.
Taylor Gonzalez.
And Alex Holloman from Bowler Engineering.
Donnie Lowe, Kimco Realty.
Tony,
Donnie.
you're with Kimco.
Yes. And then we have a representative from Target on Zoom.
And he, she, he?
She, Allison. She's available as well for any
Okay.
questions.
Okay, good. Claire?
So yeah, they submitted an admin application, for some improvements to the facade that were different from what you reviewed with the site plan application that was before you. So, let's see. They submitted a site plan modification application for an addition of a planter to the sidewalk, 3 mounted trellises and Adirondack chairs. And they sent a referral to the fire marshal. That is included in this. I'll give you a copy of this, so you have that. Yes. So basically, on the plans that were submitted, though, the changes were only to the last 3 sheets, right? Is that correct? Construction details,
In
landscape
essence.
plan, and landscape notes?
Yes, the
Yeah, it should
impacts
be-
weren't overly, yes, it's
Do you have smaller
decorative and.
versions that maybe the board
I
can use, or?
just
or
have
else-
one, but we can
I
pass
could-
this around.
Okay.
This works better.
I don't know, do
So,
anybody want full
it's gonna
size?
be
Are they up in the computer?
Sorry about that, I zoned out.
Who we want to talk about it?
since
and
Yeah, just-
The improvements were
This
decorative,
is
the
gonna-
details at the end of this set are more illustrative of what's happened. They show what's happened. So the site plan shows their placement along the sidewalk, but the details at the back of the set really show what is being placed. That's what clears.
Okay.
It's gonna be-
The chairs
last
and the
couple of
trellises and
pages.
the planters.
Chairs,
the chairs.
Trellises and
And then-
planters.
We'll leave the planters on the page after that.
What am I looking at?
That's the trellis.
Yeah, so that's the trellis that'll go kind of over, it's gonna be on the facade over the chairs.
Over the chair.
Yeah, and then there will be plantings that kind of run.
Correct. So along that frontage,
Claire, have you seen this?
there are 16 planters that sit on the sidewalk. And they'll be planted. We have a planting plan. Some of the planters are connected by a trellis, a arching trellis in the details. And then there's Adirondack chairs in between those planters with the trellises.
What is the idea of this? To have people sit?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a little bit more warm and welcoming. It was to make it unique to a Hamptons Target. They didn't want it to look like their cookie cutter Targets.
Is there seating in the Starbucks? Like, would that be seating for that audience?
So it's your typical Starbucks inside this inside a Target. So there'll be some I think
There's, like,
a seat or
tables.
two, but it's mainly for grab and go for shop patrons. This is not necessarily intended for people to enjoy their Starbucks. They can certainly, but it's warming the front area is a good way to put it.
And is it seasonal? You'll take these away in the
No,
winter?
they're gonna be anchored down. So those chairs, you won't be able to move them. People won't be able to take them. They will be anchored down
Right.
there.
So I think it's a lovely idea, but I see problems, practical problems, okay? We have snowstorms. Those sidewalks are cleared by Kimco, does a good job at doing that. Certainly in the summertime, it's certainly a collector for garbage, with people coming and sitting and dropping their garbage. These are things that we live with and that I'm just sharing with you. Nice idea, but
I have a basic question. How many of these are there going to be?
So the planters will be 16. There'll be 6 chairs, 3 groupings of double. And then each one of those chair groupings has a trellis that goes above it.
Do you have
So that takes up the whole sidewalk, right?
No, I wouldn't say it takes up, the sidewalk is very wide, so there's a covered aspect and then a not covered aspect of the sidewalk. These are all pushed underneath, right up against the building. The trellises are attached to the brickwork. The planters are right along the front. If you go to sheet C302, you can see the little black dots that sort of indicate that it's very much pushed against the building.
So
Is it where the shopping carts used to be when it was Kmart?
Should be in a similar location, kind of pushed against the front facade.
Yes.
In the front, so.
There's only a C301 here.
C302?
That Target has implemented in other communities that you have an example for? Like, we could put in an address into the GIS and get the,
I don't know if Allison, if you have an example?
yeah.
No, we don't. There's, as far as I'm aware, there's nothing else
of this design. Again, it was intended to, this was coming from our store customer experience team, and they wanted to do something to make this location very unique. So it's not something we've done at other locations.
I mean, my feeling is that this maybe fosters a more communal added effect rather than have these sterile, the shopping center, look, people might actually be sitting out there drinking coffee and might bump into a neighbor and,
It's only 6 seats. It's not like we're opening it up to all these people. You'll get a.
kind of softens the sterile
Yeah.
nature of some of these big facades, these shopping
For a
center
big
facades.
box store or big branded store, we kind of wanted to bring in a little bit more of a community aspect.
Is there anything about this, because there's so many other stores in that shopping center? Is there anything in the master plan for the shopping center, or?
I don't know, Claire.
I mean, it just seems like, for a large company like Target, I mean, I've been to many Targets throughout the nation, right? I understand it maybe is a thought of the customer experience team, but it seems sort of like a whim trial here. I'm confused by the direction. And if we could
I
have
don't
some
think
kind
that's
of,
true at all. Our team has been looking at trying to make highly unique locations very specific to those locations. I mean, clearly opposite side of the coin here, but like we recently just redid our New York Soho store to make it very specific to its location in Soho. So it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's a new thing we're doing because we don't have as many of these smaller sort of, again, unique locations and stores these days, but it's definitely something we've done before and are actively doing with, again, more unique locations rather than our just usual 130,000 square foot big box.
Allison, what did you do in Soho?
They remodeled the entire interior of the store to be very, I wasn't involved in the project, but they remodeled it to be very like Instagram friendly and, for influencers who are in New York, and it's just completely different from any other store in the market.
Different from our demographic, for sure.
Yes, certainly,
Influences
certainly.
out here in the Hamptons.
Right.
Yeah, different kind of influencing, I would say, from Soho.
One of the plants selected as for instance was hydrangeas, so that's it's sort of celebrating that out east look and that the placemaking of Southampton.
Well, they're dead in the winter, so
Yes.
they don't look
Sure.
very pretty.
And they're really good deer,
They're pretty on the
and they're really good
bush.
deer food.
Not in the winter,
No.
though.
I pick them and they dry out. They're beautiful. Yeah.
And I can tell you that our architecture team is looking at different materials on the inside of the store and a mural at the entryway that really speaks to the geography of the store. So they are very much trying to, personalize is not the right word, but, make, I keep saying unique, but to make it something different than our typical Target appearance.
Is
Given
there
the
any place
location.
else in the mall area that has public seating? Or is there any effort generally in placemaking there?
Is there seating off of Panera?
There's a
Yes,
specified
there is.
patio
On the
area.
side,
It's
there's
kind
a
of,
couple of
there's like
tables.
a,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's seasonal, when the weather's good.
Yeah.
Here.
I mean, ultimately, you'll have to ensure snow removal, you'll have to monitor, refuse pickup and maintenance like you would
Yeah.
any site.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
Agreed,
That's in
yes.
our plan.
What are the arches made of?
So it's all made of like a composite, like a vinyl, if you would. So the planters and the trellises are made of that material. Yes, it's not like a wood that deteriorates quickly.
And what color are the arches? Red?
The planters and
Golden.
arches are white, and the
Chairs are
seats
red.
are red. Yes.
Okay, well,
And if there's opinions about the plantings, we can certainly review that.
well, I mean, there are certain things that are native here that last during the winter. I mean, Seth can give you a list of that.
Sure.
But, If we can just segue a little bit, I have two major concerns here before we get into this detail. So I did a couple of site visits. Claire was also there today. There seems to be a structural deviation from the architecture on this building, where the entire center of Bridgehampton Commons has sloped roof lines, right? And the roof line has been altered so that it's somewhat sloped and then a straight wall. And I'm curious to know what's happening. Have you been, Tony? Have you seen it?
I haven't picked up on that detail.
It's very obvious here. Here.
A lot of work.
And so we wanted to discuss this with you before you went any further, because if it's a deviation in the architectural design of the center, it's just
Were these
not
pictures just
acceptable.
taken?
Claire took them this
Yeah, I
morning.
took them today.
I don't, so I am not aware of this, and I don't know if anyone on our side at this moment is aware of this.
Can you go there after
Yes.
you leave here and check it
We can
out?
investigate that and get information on that for you.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to increase the height of the,
Are you talking about the
The roof angles, and then there's a straight wall that you've erected.
Oh, I see what you're saying, that,
Yeah.
from the shingle material, it goes straight up, yes. Okay.
was there.
Go take a look at
It
it.
is, but it's painted. Yeah, they painted, I think it looks like they painted it.
Take a
or
look at it
something-
and
something
see.
similar.
Tony, you should take a look.
I think this is 2024.
And the second thing is that I personally have had complaints that that because you've closed off so much of the roadway, people are really scrambling to shop and to maneuver around. And so how long is that going to go on, or how long is Kimco going to allow it to go on? It's a real
I mean, you
inconvenience
have to go completely around
for the
top-
community. And then then the street was blocked off to get to the supermarket. You couldn't do that the other day.
Yeah.
So,
Target's plan right now is to open in the fall. Obviously, the quicker we get through kind of this approval and can finish up our work, the sooner we
but
get
is
to
it
open.
necessary to close off that side street to go to the
Yeah,
supermarket?
I can't speak to why that was, but none of our work is in that side street. I mean, that was not proposed to be any of our work. The front drive, there was work to install a new grease interceptor for the Starbucks, which would necessitate closing of the front drive to install that. But I can't imagine why we would have closed that. I'm assuming you mean the drive that comes in between like the two sections of the shopping center?
You can't traverse across the shopping
Yeah.
center. You have to leave,
You have to go back
out
out.
onto Montauk Highway and then come back in again.
Or go completely around.
Yeah, I apologize. I can't speak to that. I don't know why that would have had anything to do with our construction, unless, of course, it was the closing of the front drive that wouldn't allow them to traverse to, fully across the front of the former Kmart, now Target
I mean,
space.
I try to go around and because I was at the clothing store, and I thought, oh, I can't get by the building, but if I get closer to Montauk Highway, I should be able to get out, and I couldn't. I had to go out to Montauk Highway and go back in, or go completely around. And that around driveway is quite narrow and really should it's one lane.
So we mention it because we don't know, A, how long that's going to happen, but it's a huge inconvenience to the community.
And I mean, I shop there
Tony, you
weekly.
should,
That's my
I'm
supermarket.
glad we have someone from Kimco here.
Donnie.
Donnie,
I'll
sorry.
speak with property management and the construction teams. I'm not actively monitoring that closure, so.
Okay.
We haven't had any complaints, because I did speak with property management. They didn't raise
Well,
the
they
issue.
wouldn't know who to call. They call us.
Or we get annoyed ourselves.
Yes, I mean, we use it. We use the center.
So we can address that and kind of
And
see
this
how we
is,
can.
this is time sensitive.
Okay, yeah, we will, Allison's on the call, we'll obviously take a look at what you found here, and this is just what we've just now heard just now, so.
So related to this, I have become aware that there is no handicap spaces adjacent on Kimco, this property, adjacent to the Marshalls and TJ Maxx.
They were
And
supposed to put them in the back, and I've been telling you for a year.
Yes.
They're not there.
they're not there. Yes, so they weren't on the site plan, whether we missed it, whatever. I spoke in length to the chief building inspector. Per the building code, you have to intersperse them, and he says that in his mind, that means adjacent to anchors. Because obviously, there's many, many stores here, right? So the nearest one to this one is, there was Walgreens, and then there is ones to the south associated with that little out part, where the stable retail places,
closest
but
to State
not
Hollow Road.
adjacent to this. So, in my mind, all you need to do is repaint 6 of the spaces to make the 4 with the van accessible in the front, and then the rear, there's a 4-foot wide aisle, and make that one handicap.
So you'll show them, Claire, where it has to go?
Yeah, so we've talked to Claire, and Claire's given us pictures. We have some issues. We've done some grading, and Alex can speak to this more.
Well, so I
There's-
took pictures, and they're at grade. There is no curbing to be done. They're at grade. This is the
Alex,
picture
can
of the
you
front,
maybe
and this is the
explain
picture of the rear.
some of
So,
our concerns? as
that
we
is, it needs to be done.
evaluate?
So I'm trying to help you get to the point where you're not looking for a CO in the fall and do not meet the state building code. And so this is the chief building inspector telling me this to have, put you on notice. And so, we'd like you to come into compliance
Yeah, so
on Kimco. Thank you.
Sure. So, the area specifically striped in the details sent over to us does have, because we field surveyed it with instrumentation.
Okay.
And the sloping and the edge as it goes towards that exit, which dives down very steeply, so it kind of catches that edge. It's over, it's like 3.5%.
So you're saying nobody for a handicap can get into
Well, no,
Marshalls?
No. Well, no. So what I'm trying to say is the area it's directly that you sketched on that you'd want the spaces. If we go to the bank to the left of it, it's very flat and can be striped very easily. It's just not.
So the one to the left? Yeah,
Correct.
that's it, that's fine.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
so-
trying to get. It's just
Yeah.
so they would in both instances they would use this main walkway
Right.
here.
Mhm.
This has areas that would not be just easily striped. You'd have to do some.
The one to the
construction.
west.
This is
That's
flatter.
perfect. That's great.
Yeah,
So that works on
yeah,
the-
we
on-
have, it was just those specific ones.
That's fine.
And I believe there was the
And then so
rear one.
yes, and then so the mechanism we would use to not reduce parking there is we would have an 8-foot wide access aisle, and then that would be designated as a
Land bank.
spell. Okay.
Which will
So
avoid
then,
us going for another variance. Of that.
Correct.
so in the rear, that area did have slope issues as well from the field survey we did.
Mhm.
So we would have to regrade an area, and then currently it's at about 5.8 feet wide. We would need to expand that to a 8-foot wide aisle
Why?
because all handicap space, all access aisles next to handicap spaces in the state of New York must be at least 8 feet wide.
I thought they just have to provide one on the property. I didn't think it was all 4, but we can double check that.
So every
So would
ADA
you be fine
space.
with the, being the rear, because obviously they could
Well,
have
there's an
handicaps.
entrance, and you have an entrance to the store in the rear.
Yes, but not being handicapped.
Well, that's
to the
where I
rear.
thought they were supposed to be, because I always use that back to get to the supermarket. So I looked for the blue stripes every time I go. Actually, I stopped looking because I gave up.
So,
Yeah,
there
so-
would be no handicap in the rear then? Is that fine with it? Yeah, as long as they have the front one.
As long as I have access.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
All right, so you're good with that?
Okay, so I'll rewrite this.
We would just do the front area? Okay, and then in the flat area, which is more plug and play, if you will.
Yes, 100%. Great, sounds good. So I'm gonna rewrite this. I think they're gonna come back with some answers on June 11th, and we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Okay, and you'll have looked at that?
The photo in the art, yes.
Yeah,
Perfect.
because
Just
it's,
to clarify, are we talking about the 2 or are we talking about 4 in the front, in that flatter area?
So the 6 that are gonna become 4.
She's,
2 spots that'll be land bank.
so this sketch shows 4 ADA spots in the front with 2 land banks. We're moving
It's a
that
smaller
configuration
version.
here. Not doing the rear.
I got it.
Is what they're-
You're gonna take 6 parking spaces now and turn that into 4.
Or ADA.
Could we just do the 2 in the striped area instead of the 4?
You're gonna make the 2 spaces van accessible anyways, so why not designate the other 2? It provides,
It eliminates parking for the tenants.
you're gonna have to eliminate the 2 spaces anyways.
Right, we would lose 2, but now we're losing 6.
You don't lose them, they're just.
I understand
This-
Donnie's.
We're trying to
Yeah, we're trying to
aid
find a-
the
It's state-
code.
it's a state
And
mandate.
be the intent. The intent. Provide handicap spaces for accessible. Okay?
Okay, so, great, thank you for coming, I'm glad you did.
And I think I like the seats in the trellis.
You do
I think so, yeah.
Great. Okay, so I'll write it up for the next time, but we'll get an answer on the facade.
Okay, great. But please check with the proper plans. And do you have a drawing of how it would look, where they'd be
Maybe a
placed?
rendering or something?
A rendering of some kind, if you could
The
give that
architectural
to.
facade?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can probably mock up a.
Yeah, a rendering to show it more, yes.
From like street view, if you're
Yeah.
walking.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah, we can
yeah.
put something
Yeah.
together that kind of gives you a more
It's
visual
gonna be
look.
closer to the building than the.
It'll be up against the
snow
building.
issue becomes less of an issue.
Under the
because-
overhang.
Yeah.
Correct.
But you
And if
want it
it's
to look
raining, you
good
might get a little.
Yes,
all year round. So Seth will give you a couple of ideas for plants,
okay.
okay?
I'll follow you down in just one moment.
Christmas trees with lights.
Okay, I'm gonna take a break.
Set Seth up.
I won't go far, I
Seth,
promise.
Mariners Drive,
So this is more fitting of an extension. This site plan was given a conditional approval back on December 11th of last year. They'd asked for an extension until June 11th. So, if you do, you probably don't recall, but it was extra space storage. They were converting the office space inside into additional storage units as the two lots and both come under the ownership of Extra Space.
Oh,
This has
yeah.
become a satellite, therefore doesn't need the office. So just an extension.
it's an extension or a
Yeah,
reapproval?
extension, a reapproval, like an extension. Technically, it's a reapproval.
An extension to when?
June 11th.
6/11.
Motion?
Motion.
By Gloria, second by Dennis, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? 6 in favor, 1 absent. Watermill Bridge is Prena. That's it.
a reapproval of a site plan. We received, the board received a request to reapprove the site plan. That was approved, I think, back in, it's been a while.
Phase 2, approval.
This is phase 2, so, is this up? So that was phase 1, it was the Bridge Mill. I think it's now the Mecox Garden site, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, way be.
And they got the approval for phase 2, the structures in the back with the cross-access. They're not yet ready. This would be, I think, the 5th or the 6th reapproval. This would be a 2-year reapproval.
Okay.
So till
It would be until 2020.
February 10, 20, no?
I'm sorry?
And it says until February 10, 2026.
Oh, do I have that in the agenda?
No, I think they were entitled through February 10th, 2026, so it
So
expired
it would take you to
then.
2028.
2020.
2028.
Yeah.
Okay, motion?
Motion.
By Dennis, second by Gloria, all in favor. Opposed, abstentions, 6 in favor, 1 absent. North Edge Stables is off the agenda. Claire, you're back.
We're back.
Okay.
Didn't have a chance to.
Heatherwood at Hampton Bays, secret determination.
Yeah, so this is Anthony's, of course.
We have
They're familiar
applicants
with
here?
it. They reviewed the traffic.
Yes.
We
At
reviewed
the
that.
last meeting. Your traffic consultants, Robert Bouvet, is on.
Do we have any handouts here?
Yes, I do. I have.
So we'll go over the traffic first? Do we have applicants here? Yes, please.
Good afternoon, Sean Sally.
Good afternoon. spell that for me?
Sean, S-E-A-N, last name Sally, S-A-L-L-I-E.
I-E.
Michael Brusso, Nelson Pope and Voorhees.
Russo with an R?
Russo with a B.
Russo.
Pat Lenahan, VHB.
So, I think we left, there was, not much, they were just gonna tidy up the reports, I think. The last time, I'm not quite sure.
Okay, so
Hi,
let's.
everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
So do you have any amendments or revisions for us on the traffic report?
They pretty much addressed all of my comments. I mean, she submitted a comment response and revised the analysis. I didn't really have any more additional comments. They pretty much covered everything I'd asked for.
Okay, so in looking at this application, which is major, the only entrance and exit is on the main street of Hampton Bays. That's an impact, no doubt. And in some instances, it could also be a safety issue because there is no alternative cross-access anywhere to get out. So can we look with fresh eyes at a potential cross-access somewhere behind the atrium, behind, Dennis, you know this area pretty
Yeah.
well.
The atrium would be ideal.
So, if I may,
Yeah,
in our initial conversations with planning, call it 2 years ago, we were talking about this configuration, and the question did come up, or more, it was more of a sort of a point that in many site plan applications such as this, there is a cross-access requirement that the planning board imposes. So we took that back in the development of our site plan. We did configure the plans such that there could be a reciprocal cross-access with the neighboring property to the west,
whereabouts would that be?
which is a.
Is that the Italian restaurant?
The bank.
It is, right, it's the bank, exactly.
The bank.
So it would be right around that, call it the northeast corner of the bank parking lot, which,
Right, but that still impacts Main Street, Hampton Bays, right?
right, I mean, you would sort of dilute the in and out at lamplight and be able to spread that out if the bank were amenable. But, going back to those initial meetings, I mean, we had an opportunity to consolidate, and I think we, mentioned this in the past, that consolidating curb cuts or not creating a new curb cut on a kind of a downtown Main Street is an improvement in safety, right? The more curb cuts you have, the more turning movements, et cetera, conflicts. So to be able to consolidate and not create new is generally a safer condition. We are talking about a mix of uses here, so that those in and outs, and Pat can speak more to that, but are dispersed throughout the day, so it's not like, it's an office building where everybody's arriving at 9 a.m. and everyone's leaving at 5 p.m. It's more of a spread out condition. So again, generally the design concept for us is use the existing curb cut or the existing lamplight circle, which we own, and use that to our advantage from a safety perspective. So I think the traffic study bears those that hypothesis out that it's maintained as a safe condition. We're able to make it safe for pedestrians as well within the site plan, as well as leaving the site on a continuous sidewalk.
Yeah, but the sidewalk is a great idea, but maybe I'm not making myself clear. An alternative exit point somewhere in the rear
Through the atrium.
through the atrium.
Yeah, I mean, have you had conversations with the bank and the atrium property? Because there is, if you've already contemplated it in your engineered site plan to connect to the bank, then there's only one more opening there to go right to, through the atrium property, and then people could safely go onto 27. So that's what we're looking for. I personally do not think this project works in a safe manner unless there is some kind of cross-access to get people out to the 27. It's really not a great area. I traverse, I know that we've discussed it from the data perspective, but then there's the qualitative experience there. And you're creating a great amount of affordable housing and, additional opportunities there, but it doesn't work unless you can get out.
Even if you can exit through the atrium to 24, some portion of the population, because they have a nice apron cutting.
That's what I'm saying, is get them out through the atrium to 24 so they can get onto
24 to go
27 or Old Riverhead Road if they
Yeah,
are gonna
yeah,
go east, they can get 27 or Old Riverhead Road and take Montauk Highway, as many people do. But to have them be in a position of turning out left, if people are heading east, which many are, out of there, it
Disaster.
just doesn't work.
So I think, and I understand what you're saying, the further north you get on our site, there will be a significant grade change. So, I think the opportunity is to cross-access through before the, call it the hourglass jog to the west.
Yes.
So
Through the bank, through the atrium, so you have where it's paved already.
Right.
In the back of the bank, could cross-access directly, give you straight shot out to Route 24 there. It's a
other way.
natural flow.
The other way, Teresa.
No, she said through the bank, here.
Through the bank.
Out to
right-
24.
Yep, and right through the atrium to 24.
Straight down, you've got
Straight
all of
across.
that.
So does the bank have an existing access or cross-access with
No.
the atrium?
No.
So it would be a double, a call it a tri-property, tri-owner.
They
Well, you would make-
probably would like
It's
it.
not
Provisions
impossible, I just wondered if you had actually engaged that conversation, because that's the first step, right?
But then you disperse the in and out traffic in a better way. 2 or 3 are better than the 1. And it's a safety issue. If there's anything that goes wrong in there, you've got alternate routes.
Either
And
that
there
or you
is-
have a right turn only. If the cross-access couldn't be achieved, a right turn only out of your site would enable them to turn right into the atrium or get that same access, but it's, the best case scenario would be not to have people coming out on Montauk Highway.
Exactly. And you can't I know you think otherwise, but you cannot make a safe left turn. And we all
Yeah.
agree, because we all live here.
And we don't do it.
It's not, so,
Maybe at 2 o'clock in the morning.
so that's a
Future
request.
cross-access. Future cross-access
Right turn
easement
only.
agreements to the right, to the
West.
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
the
right-
west,
right
to
turn
both the bank
West and
and to
west.
the atrium.
Yeah.
Yes.
And right turn only out of
And
Lamplighter.
then out to 24. Yeah, so it goes all the way through.
It's already
Right.
open to 24, so it would be
Yeah.
between their property and the bank, and they would have to begin the conversation to negotiate between the bank and the atrium for them.
Because
to
that's
have
your
it.
property, so you're right?
Unless because your property goes up higher, if you could just speak with the atrium, you'd have one to address.
Yeah,
and that's
behind the bank.
Right,
Just the
that's,
bank.
we do have a grade change condition there.
Right, where it wouldn't work engineering wise,
We
yeah.
would need to
This would,
Lamplighter.
this would
connect through the bank.
be
Yeah.
better.
At the very
And
least,
it's already paved,
right turn
so
only.
good to go.
Yeah, everything through your other,
At the very least, right turn only out of
your other
Lamplighter.
units,
I use that bank.
your other thing is
If I'm
all,
going
is all paved.
To
so-
Springville, I'll actually use a clover leaf. If I'm going even further east, I'll actually go to Squiretown and come out at the Pompano light. I will not make a left turn out of that bank.
Right.
No.
I think we all have
No, I
plans for
mean-
how
Almost
to
every day.
avoid left turns.
Okay, so that was one really important thing, and I think could greatly improve this, improve the quality of Hampton Bays, and, because you don't yet know what that front building's gonna be. It could be a rental office business for the complex,
Well,
an office, and then a restaurant.
Right, a portion of it would be, but we're hoping we're getting, quality tenants as we've received in other, we've gotten in other Heatherwood properties where, it adds vibrancy to the, to the downtown, and that's what we're looking to do.
Right, vibrancy without
Impact.
But
You
a
ever-
negative
as safe
impact,
as
yeah.
possible.
Did we ever clarify the alleged cemetery? We did.
Yeah. That has been
Is someone
clarified.
speaking to us?
How did we clarify that?
Oh, do you want me to tell you?
Was there a,
Yes.
was there a,
Is
like
there
a?
someone speaking?
Is someone,
You did the subsurface
is someone
fine.
speaking?
It seems like it's coming out of the TV, but maybe there's a conversation.
Is someone in
Because
your
he's not
office?
using his lips, though.
We're hearing voices.
We just hear another voice. And it's not you, right?
I just muted it.
Okay.
So there was a phase 1 A and B
We
submitted
did a
in case no
subsurface
artifacts.
analysis.
Yes.
We did GPR first, and then we did a,
No
then we did a
goblins
phase
down
1B.
there.
Nothing.
GPR.
records.
Well, that's good. At least it was researched, yeah.
And just from a procedural standpoint, so I understand, the negotiations with the adjacent property owners, does that occur, I guess, are these conditions of the potential future site plan approval? How do we
Your
get?
site would have to, first of all, accommodate the physical. You'd have to show the physical connections. And I think there,
Christine's
attorneys
not
in here,
here.
there's certain legal instruments you'd have to secure. On your end, we can't compel you to enter into agreements with other parties, but at least you would be willing to.
Right, so just the bank.
Because periodically, these sites come in for approval, and then that's our opportunity to link everything together.
But I think the bank would be delighted for cross-access.
Yeah.
So that Dennis can get out another way.
I know. Exactly.
And it makes it easy for all those people living there to go to their bank.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
And they're gonna use that
There's an
bank
incentive.
probably, so they can even walk there. Okay, so that was really my one big.
Great.
Yeah.
So, they are looking for seeker at this point, so I'm gonna pass out the part 2. And Anthony prepared, the accompanying narrative.
Do you have a copy?
We did receive a copy from,
That's the part 2. I don't know if he provided that to you.
oh, no, I didn't see it.
The only thing he didn't answer was the last one, community character, but I think that should be fine. And then this is this narrative, if you don't mind passing that down.
I believe he did provide an explanation of community character in the part 2.
We'll have to hand to Bays.
He did,
Hamlet.
but where? Community plans. I didn't get community character.
Let's see, and he did a
Unless
very
it was
nice
the beginning.
report. Oh,
No, I
thank you.
think it was just at the end.
Combined, yeah, he may have combined it.
Yep.
Oh, different document.
Or zoning.
But this is. So I'll go through the narrative, but it goes along with the part 2, so
Yeah.
just so you know. Anthony's very thorough, but I'm gonna skip, okay?
Summarize.
So impact on land is the typical, but he does talk about the Hampton Bays Business District, talks about SWIP requirements, there's a change of zone obviously here for the mixed use, the multifamily situation here, so this all conforms to that. There's no impact on geological features, surface water, obviously groundwater. There'll be a speedies permit and then a sewage treatment plant for the property. And no impacts on flooding, no impacts on lands, plants and animals is very, it's a disturbed piece of property from before, but yeah, there'll be impacts on the wildlife in the area. But small to moderates, no impacts on agricultural resources, aesthetic resources, and then the historic we touched upon before. Open space, no impacts, not a critical environmental area. The transportation, obviously, they provided the study. You hired McLean, yes, to review it. What I'm going to add is your language about the future cross-access easement agreements required to the west with both the bank and the atrium, and also show physical improvements on the site plan.
Excellent.
Okay? No left-hand turns
Right.
to Montauk Highway. So that was also required, part of the requirement, utilizing lamplight circle rather than create a new curb cut on Montauk Highway, and then the sidewalks along Montauk Highway. Impacts on energy, small to moderates. Anything else, energy consumption?
Yeah, did we talk about any of this on this particular application in terms of solar or geothermal or something?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, I
thought
don't
we
remember
did.
specifically if we discussed it
either.
here.
This was back, I think, during the pre-application.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will be providing EV charging station, vehicle charging stations for residents and the retail restaurant patrons. We will be using LED lighting, efficient appliances, and we'll be able to provide more detailed information to this board as we move forward in site plan review as far as with more specificity. And again, we think that the site location and the site plan itself, it's in a downtown location, it's very walkable. So from a, minimizing the need for vehicular travel, again, it's a compact site, mixed use, that has an environmental benefit in and of itself. From a sustainability standpoint, it's a true smart growth project.
I mean, I guess that the Energy Star is a great start, but there are also ways to heat and cool that will be cheaper to run moving forward. And if you've got the affordable units.
The heat pumps.
The heat
Yeah,
pumps?
heat pumps, yeah.
And we are analyzing.
Yeah, it's a high electric bill, but
But
they
that
are
is-
efficient, AC and heat.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's also nearby bus service, nearby stops within a few hundred feet.
Yeah, the N92, you can go all the way to Montauk in a couple of days.
How will this project interact with those in Hampton Bays?
Well, they're gonna have their own on-site, obviously, but
it's a
once
way to
it
see the
is,
Hamptons
if
cheaply.
it does come to fruition, it will be required. to
Yes.
hook up.
They'll be required, so we'll have to have
I
some
didn't hear
legal
what you were
guarantees
saying,
to.
but-
Once the sewers are in, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
tap into the sewer district.
We do have accommodations on the plan for the future conversion if that
Okay.
does become a requirement.
Great. Okay,
So, yeah, so everything else is small to moderate, is consistent with community plans and consistent with community character, yes?
So
Claire,
we need an egg deck here?
Neg deck?
Yeah.
do you want to just add in, like, in this report on the impacts on groundwater, that they have made provisions to hook into the sewer if it goes forward?
make
Just because
reference
then we
to
don't
it.
want to have to circle back and not have it documented. Oh, well, already done.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, so we're going to declare a negative declaration on this, and this is a motion by Dennis and second by Gloria. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions?
Abstention.
And this would
Five
be,
five in favor, one abstention, and one absent.
and then to deem the application complete and schedule a public hearing.
That's item 22, right? 22 on the agenda.
Okay, I'll motion.
Well, let's just talk about the date.
Oh, sorry.
What's the date?
July 9th?
July 9th.
Why not?
July 9. Okay, so motion to deem it complete and set a
Kate.
scheduled hearing for July 9 was Kate,
Second.
and second by David. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? 5 in favor, 1 abstention, and 1 absent. Okay,
And we have a not Claire next.
great.
Take a break.
Rest.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Okay,
thanks.
great. Thank you.
I think it's going
Sorry
to be
about the wait.
terrific.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but I think we'll talk about that next.
It's not 100% gone, but it's most
Oh,
of it.
okay. So Claire gets a little break.
Yeah. She'll be back.
Great. Yeah, I always carry them in my purse. Okay, Prena, 45 Foster Avenue.
45 Foster Avenue, this is that site plan special exception application in that LI 40 pocket just north of the railroad in Bridgehampton.
Right, with all those cars.
Yeah, the applicants are here.
Yes, hi.
Haley Greger.
And Brian Greger.
Brian,
You know, when you
yes.
go down, Brian, yes. Hi, Haley Greger.
Pretty sturdy.
Agent for 45 Foster Avenue LLC.
Gregor.
My name's Jeff Greger.
You're Jeff Gregor,
The original Gregor.
and you are
Brian Greger.
the whole family.
That's it.
The Gregors.
Merchant's Path.
Okay.
So the proposed is to demolish the existing and, which had a long use of a auto and equipment repair shop, and develop or construct a approximately 7,000 square foot metal structure as a warehouse and office space for Gregor Well Drilling. And it would be a special trade contractor use. The board adopted a pre-submission report in October of 2025. And the application is currently before zoning for dimensional and parking relief. The zoning board coordinated with this board. You requested lead agency at the last meeting, and they've since relinquished. It's an unlisted action pursuant to SECRA, and within the pre-submission report, the board required an ESA prior to the final application. So we still do not yet have a final application, but we also, or a preliminary ESA, I should say, the environmental site assessment. So the applicant has yet to submit that. If the board is still requiring that, then I don't know that the board would have sufficient information to review
secret,
SECRA.
right.
Yeah. The applicants are here. I don't know if they.
Well, it's a heavily used site with cars, oil, all kinds of potential contamination. We need to know that the site's pretty clean or in order to move forward.
So that's why, so we're back here, as Preta said, the ZBA, they had, at our meeting, they had to loosely quote them, they had no issue with what we were doing. They were supportive of the variances and the parking, all of that. But the SECRA review came up, and they asked that we submit the long form. So I had prepared the long form. I delivered it to Candace, 12 copies of it. I don't know if you all were provided them.
We have a copy.
Okay, so I thought they were coming to you, and that was the lead agency, so I did not bring you guys copies. I'm sorry about that.
No.
But going through and just, I'm sure you guys have read these forms over and over, but this is our first time doing it, and we're here basically seeking, based upon my answers in the long form and our review of it, a negative declaration, so that way we can move past SECRA. The zoning board can thereby issue the variances, because we're stopped with them until this issue. And then we come back to planning and the building department to actually move forward. Going through the questions on the long form, we are seeking to develop on land that has already been disturbed in an industrial area with no residential neighboring properties for an industrial purpose. There's no mining, dredging, excavation in connection with what our proposed use of the property. To the extent that any excavation will happen during construction, it'll be minimal, just footings for the building. We're not doing a basement or anything like that. We're not located near any water, wetlands, forest, ag lands. There's no increased demand for water. There will be no liquid waste, water waste treatment facilities, any sources of air pollution or emissions like fuel burning. There will not be an increase of traffic. Arguably, it's going to be a lot less traffic because people come there in and out every day to have their cars fixed. We have 3 employees that will come at 8 a.m. and leave at 4. There's no one visits the property often. There will be no additional demand for energy. We can put in geothermal loops. We have talked about using solar panels so that the business will operate during normal business hours. There will be no noise or odors or invasive lighting, only what is required by the planning board. And they will not be storing bulk petroleum or pesticides. No solid waste in the course of the business, but also during construction. There may be one day when they demolish the masonry building and take it away. That's it. That's the only thing that's there. The vehicles at the property will be retrieved by their owners, any old materials removed for recycling. The property is not used by members of the community, it's not near a park space. To our knowledge, there has not been any reported spill at the property. I tried to look up anything, I don't see anything on the town's website, I just see the permits for the business, that's it. There's no bedrock, no known issue with flooding, no endangered animals or species of plants at the property. So I say all of this because I do not feel that our proposed project will have a negative impact on the surrounding environment. To the extent that there is concern, like you just said, about it being an auto repair shop for years, I will submit to you that the vast majority of vehicles you see come and go. They're short-term. People drop them off to be fixed, they're picked up. The floor in the building is concrete, so there's nothing is going through that. The outside, the garage bays where they work is also concrete. The inside, the hydraulic lifts inside the reservoirs are above ground. They're not below to eliminate any possible contamination. The fuel oil for the building is located above ground. The old septic, we've located it, and that will be, I guess, tested, remediated, removed. The permit has been submitted to the Suffolk County Department of Health by TF Engineering we are using for that aspect of the project. So all that to say, if we have to do an environmental impact study, we did not do one when we bought the property. So we have nothing of that sort, but we'd have to spend a lot more months, I'm assuming, and just a lot of money. The companies are going to come, and this is based on my research, do a site visit, and then probably say after that site visit that they want to do testing, which is going to take longer, and it's just another step in this already, long process. And just hearing everybody who was before us for the past 2 hours, that these processes are long, and I understand that when you're doing a Target, hundreds of people, a cannabis dispensary near public, we're doing an industrial building, an industrial area without any residential neighbors. There's not kids playing in the grass. It's a parking lot going to be paved as a parking lot.
This is not
And
your use. Your use is fine. It's the
Yes.
prior use.
Yes.
And the property sits in an APOD, an Aquifer Protection Overlay District. It's in an archaeologically sensitive area. And we have had sites like this before that have been packed with cars, old cars, cars that are being repaired. And we get an EAF, I call it an EAF. It doesn't take that long.
It's not an environmental study.
It's not an environmental study, it's not a whole thing. They do soil testing, I mean, I think Preno or the planning department.
Phase
Phase-
one.
Phase
They
one.
start with the phase
Environmental
one.
sciences.
Yeah.
But
And-
that's when they come and visit the property.
Yes, and then they say, okay, the use
That
was.
you want to test further, and that goes to the phase 2.
Yes.
So in my experience and what I've been talking with people, the companies, they charge for the phase 1 and then the phase 2. So they're going to come, and it's going to just be an additional cost and time. And they can come maybe in a month to do the walkthrough and then come out and do the testing. That's my concern, is just the amount of time that it takes for all of this.
Yeah, I understand that. So this is something that we are concerned because of the use, and that's why their phase 1 is going to become a phase 2.
Yeah.
They are also going to be concerned about the use on the property. And, in the 60s, they didn't know enough not to dump the oil down the drains. And so that's what typically, we've never really come across this because people buy the properties and their attorneys are recommending that they do this before they purchase the property, so they don't become liable for contamination on the property. That might impact adjacent properties. The groundwater is part of our environmental review.
It's part of our policy, really,
Yeah.
and part of
Did
secret.
you have it done when you purchased
Honestly,
the
it's to
property?
your benefit as well, because if you construct a building and you have a property that has contaminated soils that releases semi-volatile or volatile organic compounds, that can leach into your building. If you have those materials, you need to know so you can build the building properly with the proper soil vapor barriers and things like that. That's for your own health benefits as well.
So it really behooves you, and you're in a sensitive
It kind
area.
of covers you, in a sense, when you think about it. Because otherwise, yeah, she's right. You'd be on the hook for.
More. Better to do it now. And So I'm sure you can recommend.
I don't think it's
Well,
that
we don't
old.
recommend people, but
Oh,
they're, you know,
yeah.
surveyors.
It's
and
not like a whole
others,
full-blown
yeah.
environmental, like, they
No,
come
they
out,
start
they
with
do.
the phase one, it'll say it's been a car repair place, so yes, there'll be a phase two, but then they go and they take little samples of the soil and they say,
Right.
okay, it's been capped off properly, it
Yeah.
was never, you know, I've seen them, I've read them, and they,
Are the cars still there, or you've had them taken?
Yeah, no, they come and go. We haven't, honestly, we haven't told him to cease operations. He is happy working, he's busy, and, you know, this process has taken so long, we didn't want to remove him and then just be left with nothing, you know, we need the rental income. So,
Okay.
Hopefully, the environmental study will prove all the things that you believe
Yeah.
are the case.
no, I know, it's just, it's an extra step, so now we're in limbo between the two boards, is that?
yeah, but
My
truthfully, you
understanding.
brought
It
this up
doesn't
as
do
an
that.
issue when the pre-submission was done, right, which was, what, 6 months ago?
It was October, yeah.
So, I mean, it is important.
Right. The ZBA has nothing to do with the environmental concern.
No, I know that, so I'm saying, but for
They
our
won't take action until
application
we're done.
before.
Seeker has to be completed.
Okay, so secret
Yeah, but after that, it's pretty administrative, it goes
Then it's
boom,
pretty
boom,
quick.
boom.
After that.
Yeah, they'll get.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So you're
And then
saying,
you can come right back to us.
okay.
Maybe you can
Yeah,
find,
but this is the outstanding issue, right? When
That's
she
it.
comes back,
That's all,
yeah, that's
yeah.
the outstanding
This.
issue.
Yep.
Everything
So
else
once you
is-
provide it, we look at it, we confirm that it concludes no impact, we can put you back on for the neg deck and then you go back to the ZBA.
Okay.
So what are we doing, deeming it incomplete?
We don't,
No
we
action?
wouldn't deem it incomplete, right?
No, no,
No
it's
action.
just.
Just
that you
discussion,
wanted
no
to-
action.
Just
Yeah.
need further information.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
good luck with it. Okay, Claire, you're on again.
There's back.
Connor Friedlander.
I don't
Claire?
have a voice anymore.
Carl?
That's good, that's good. So,
Carl Benacasa, 816 Montauk
Yeah,
Highway.
yeah, no, I've been reading about this one.
Waterville, New York for the
Oh,
applicant.
this is the traffic
Quite a history.
study.
This is
This is
the
the traffic
analysis of the traffic
yeah,
study.
so.
Do we have someone?
Yeah, Robert Bouvet's here.
Thank you.
There's too many copies for you there, but. No, not at all. What we're gonna say is, so we just received this today. It was, what was happening is that your consultant was trying to figure out what the site plan looked like, because the site plan was kind of from an old plan. You know, because what we're looking at is the subdivision right now, and then the
Yep.
applicant, now that we've changed it to 9 lots, is now considering what a concept site plan would be. So we're
Well,
not
That's why he said he
segmenting
couldn't,
it.
that
'Cause
things
it-
were different.
It was originally a full yield, then it went to a cluster.
Right. So he's not looking at the correct map?
He is looking at the latest map, but even the applicant is saying it may change. But he's looking at 90,000 square feet of development on the property. So he has something to work with. I think, and sorry, I didn't read the entire thing closely.
I haven't had a chance either yet.
Me neither.
I mean,
But
I-
what I think he's saying, and I'm gonna have him speak for himself, is that there's some discrepancies, and that he thinks that some of the information is old, where he would request an updated
Okay,
or a new site study that would be current counts.
good. So let him,
We'd just
let
like
him
a chance
speak.
to review and respond to it.
Okay, Robert?
Hey, everybody. Everybody hear me?
Hi.
Yep,
Yes.
you can.
Okay, perfect. So I just want to kind of go through maybe starting with like the stuff that I did review, what I had. So what we had was a traffic study that was written in September of 2023 based on December 2022 counts. There was an addendum to that traffic study trying to modify those volumes to account for the increase that these roads will see in the summer. That was dated November 2023. There's a preliminary site plan that was submitted as part of the September 2023 traffic study. It was kind of like an attachment in there. And then there is this, preliminary yield map or preliminary cluster map that's November 2025. And then there was a letter from the traffic engineer dated January 16, 2026. So
No wonder he's confused.
there's quite a lot.
So if you don't
So-
mind just like summarizing, because I think the applicant's gonna wanna respond to this at a
Yeah, I'll go
future
through it.
meeting. So just maybe a summary. You don't have to read them all, but.
Yeah, no, I won't read the whole thing, just kind of like, so I guess the September traffic study, it's based on, the December count, so they were done early in December of 2022. They were looking at 90,000 square feet of commercial, and then it doesn't say anything about the residential, although it looks like on both the site plan and the preliminary yield map, there is this R60 zone southeastern portion of the property, but they don't really speak to anything on that. So going through the actual analysis itself, there are a lot of issues with the figures and the tables themselves. So the traffic figures, I guess even the first one, I mean, the site map looks like it's wrong on this. It doesn't even look like that's the correct site because it seems like this, both the preliminary yield map and the site plan itself include, the Carvel and even west of there. But the site map in figure 3 doesn't. The directional distribution they use only adds to 90%, so it looks like there's only 90% of the traffic coming in, 90% of the traffic going out, but there's 10% somewhere else. That directional distribution figure only has one side access driveway, but the build figures show 2. The yield map looks like it's got more than 1, and the preliminary site plan has 2. The preliminary site plan, the way it's designed, it looks like it's right in, right out for both of those driveways, but the traffic impact study analyzes it with a dedicated westbound left lane in and then a westbound through right. And then there's a dedicated, so coming out of that main access driveway, that's going to be across from the Bridgehampton Common Shopping Center, there's a dedicated left and then a through right. Just kind of all, it doesn't really all mesh with what's shown on the site plans or any of the different cluster maps.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
yeah, can we let the applicant respond to that, Bob?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I need to review this with our traffic engineer. So I think I talked to Claire, if we could come back on for the 11th of June, that'll give us plenty of time to do that.
Yeah.
And you'll get the right maps, Bob.
Yeah, we'll make sure you have
Because
everything you need.
I think a traffic study in December in 2023 is not going to net very much, so. And one way in and one way out, he might be referring to the.
They don't match up. What
They
he's
don't.
saying, the reference in the reports,
Doesn't
the
match up.
study doesn't match up with the site plan.
With the current site plan.
Yeah,
So we'll get him the current stuff, right?
Well, he probably has the current site plan. If what he's saying is accurate, you'll need an updated traffic study, is what you'll need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I would actually recommend that they almost start it over because they, like I said, it's 2022 counts, trying to project what was, I guess, 3 years to 2025, and I guess now you try to use 2022 data to project to 2029 or almost 2030. You probably would be better off just collecting fresh summer data currently and then growing that forward.
It's the season.
Yeah.
We'll talk to our engineer and draft a response and be ready for you on the 11th.
Sounds good.
Good. Thank
No
you,
action,
Bob. No
thanks.
action. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks,
Thank you, Carl. Okay, so do I need to do a motion here, Claire?
Not at all.
No action.
So we'll just bring it back for June 11th.
Yes.
Okay. Seth,
Yes. Another secret.
80 Anchor Street, final subdivision secret determination.
Yes, so 80 Acre is a final application, 2-lot subdivision in Flanders. This lot is located in the R15 zoning district. Additionally, the Aquifer Protection Overlay District and the Central Pine Barrens Compatible Growth Area.
All of that.
The proposed project is going to create pretty much almost a straight divide of the lot with a flag lot gaining access on the left-hand side towards the back half.
What is that road? Is that
That would be Anchor Street.
the wide street to the south?
This is Anchor Street, this is Bell, and this is the Northampton Flanders Ambulance Corps. And this is the Blaze Church back here, property.
So it's not often that subdivisions warrant a SECRA, but in this case, it is in the Aquifer Protection Overlay District, a critical environmental area. So in that case, it's considered an unlisted action and therefore requires a secra, that secra be conducted. In this case, it would be a short environmental assessment form. I put part 3 on the front so you wouldn't have to flip it over, but the part 2 should have been maybe the first part. At any rate, we were looking at what kind of impact this would have, being that it's a 40,000 square foot lot and it's a routine subdivision. No to small impacts as found across the board. However, again, we have to look at it as a APOD parcel, so the groundwater should be at least thought about and discussed in the narrative that I put before you. The parcel is currently, as it stands before subdivision, 41% cleared. That would be 16,893 square feet.
Where are you? You're here.
I'm sorry, I'm on the front.
Okay, it's R15 zoning,
Yes, it is.
and it's being divided into 2 lots?
Yes, it is. It's 40,000 in total.
Okay.
It's
It
bigger,
does-
the lots are bigger than the zoning.
Yeah, yes.
So if you haven't identified any significant environmental impact.
Yeah, well, I think that because it's a critical environmental area, we should at least speak to, momentarily, but I am suggesting a neg deck, to be
Right.
clear.
And we have the APOD regs. It'll be subject to our APOD regs.
That's correct. That's what I specify. That's, once it is subdivided, the front lot is no longer conforming
Yeah,
with
it's
the
gonna have to be
APOD.
re-veg-
It's
re-veg.
75%. We get the revegetation, that would be a mitigating force towards protecting the groundwater.
House?
There is an existing house, yes.
Yes, it's right there. Yeah.
And it is proposed to stay. They do have Department of Health Services approval for the back lot, the IA system in the back.
What about the front, the house?
There's no, the setbacks, you say?
The house is going to go with an IA system.
The new construction will be, the house in the front is not, they don't propose to touch it, and the existing is approved and was on the approval
This
from the.
surfaced a couple of weeks ago, a
Yes, it
couple of
is
meetings
surfaced,
ago
yeah.
for Bay Avenue House. And I was very, very upset with myself that we let that one go through. We basically had an applicant here that said, well, I'm going to call my client and see if he agrees to this.
And he agreed to
So we
the,
created a lot, we created a vacant lot now that could be sitting there for 25 years, and we're going to have a house with a substandard septic system. We had an opportunity to put an IA system in there, so I think by policy, when we were.
So even if there is not a knockdown of the house, the
The
existing
thing
house
is, it
is
was
staying
like
put.
the percentage of expansion, right? So,
That's what's in our code.
however,
density.
it is an expansion, 100% expansion,
They're adding
in
another
fact,
house.
because you're making another lot with a whole new house.
I think it would be a
So it
good
would
policy.
not matter if it was put in the year before, just to be clear.
Well, it needs to
We
be an
want
IA system.
We have enough, I think we have enough in our town record now with all the Dr. Gobler's
Understood.
speeches and,
Absolutely.
and
Not
coming
contesting
forward,
that at
it's
all.
coming to a crisis situation. And we're here, we're doubling the density. Guaranteed, granted, it's only one parcel,
Yes.
but this way, we're not gonna have a house without an IA system.
yeah, I mean, I think what Dennis is saying is we're deciding of a precedent that this is, if you want
Yeah.
to subdivide, you're gonna have to.
Put in a new
You have to
system.
put a new system in the original house.
Yeah,
Good idea.
Same thing with like
and that could be
any
policy.
pre-existing non-conforming use. If they're coming in with adding a new use or making modification to expand the use, they need to clean up everything that's already there, right? If you want to be pre-existing non-conforming, then you're pre-existing, not expanding, right?
Now, the good news is they can avail themselves to the town program
Yeah.
And the county.
and the county, so there's money on the table.
Absolutely. I do question though, so what happens with the Department of Health,
Well,
Health
that doesn't
Services
impact them.
approval? They need it in order to do final application. Does that mean they cannot proceed until they get another approval from the Department of Health Services?
Well, they have to,
Different type of approval.
It's a different one.
They're gonna go for the single-family replacement of the sanitary system.
So where do we hang it over, where does it, where do we
We
make it?
conditioned it
a
on the
condition?
covenant, right?
prior to signature.
Prior to
That's the
signature?
mistake we made on the Bay Avenue lot.
Well, you're doing seeker right now, right?
Yeah, we're doing
We have
secret.
time. I'm just saying, where does it fit
As
in?
long as they
Right.
put a sanitary system in prior to.
Prior to signature. See, we made the mistake on the Bay Avenue lot. They pushed us prior to building permit. Now, that vacant lot can sit there for 20 years, and we're gonna have a substandard septic system for the next 20 years, that where we had the opportunity to implement an IA, so let's
So
do it
now
the
we
right
have,
way.
yeah.
I can't believe the health department's not requiring this.
No.
Well, the town code doesn't say you have to do it.
I think
No.
we should fully do our part and then let them do their part.
That's because they have
We're
a CO
responsible for
house,
our
right?
action.
But they are expanding it by 100%. You know,
Yeah.
they're subdividing it. So
getting
they're
more.
getting, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Now's
All
the
right,
time
so
to
what
do
do you
it.
have to revise this or what?
I did have a little section saying that they met the requirements of the Suffolk County Department of Health Services, but
Right,
I'll say that
right.
furthermore, will require,
The front house will.
yep. I don't think that would change the idea of this is a negative declaration.
No.
No.
In fact,
No.
that kind of supports,
Makes it even better.
yeah.
Well, we're giving it a neg deck because the mitigation is.
Yes, the
Yes,
mitigation is
yes.
the front
That's
house is
been
gonna,
fixed.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
Then you're gonna issue a conditioned neg deck.
Ah, yes, addition,
addition neg deck,
then that
and it's
changes,
unlisted, so
But did you,
that's good.
coordinate?
it's uncoordinated, lead agency.
You're changing today's thing, you're going to coordinate with the health department.
Okay.
You're gonna
Well,
change-
coordination's optional though, right?
No, but if you are gonna do a conditioned neg deck, which is what you're saying, that you're gonna make them do a new sanitary system for the existing house, then you should coordinate, inform the health department that this is what you're doing, and then they will get a copy of the conditioned neg deck that says there's gonna have to be a new sanitary system in the front. So today is a coordination day.
Yes,
Coordination day.
So, Seth, that means you're gonna have to revise your resolution to submit coordination documents, and then the neg deck will be adopted after you've coordinated and assumed lead agency.
Okay,
so you
so
have
we're
to
not
coordinate
adopting
it
the neg
first,
deck.
no.
We're
No
adopting
action.
lead agency and
Coordination.
Coordination.
With the health department, which is probably the only agency, right?
Yeah.
Is this on some big road?
So I need an action on lead agency? Okay,
You're going
mo-
to choose coordinated review for the unlisted action, and then it's going to be 30 days to see a
Okay.
response from the health
Is the
department.
resolution to assume lead agency and coordinate, or just coordinate?
Coordination right now, and then when the health department doesn't respond within 30 days, you're going to assume lead agency and issue a condition neg deck, which they will get a copy of, and then it'll be filed with the state.
So we're assuming a motion to assume lead agency?
No.
Motion to coordinate.
Oh, to coordinate, sorry, that comes later. To coordinate by Dennis, second by Gloria, all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, six, you can
I'm
vote.
in.
Yeah, you can vote.
Nice.
6 in favor and 1 absent.
Okay, well, so you can disregard the completeness.
Okay.
And the neg deck, and I'll redraft that.
So this completeness thing is off.
It's off.
Okay, so
Thanks,
Teresa,
Seth.
you're next. Thank you.
Actually,
Seth is.
for
Kirschenbaum?
TBE, oh, go ahead.
Is it Caleb Kirschenbaum?
2018. So that's actually going to be combined with 24. I forgot that the Pine Barrens had assumed lead agency, and they had issued a negative declaration, so we're going just to, adopt their findings and deem it complete. So 18 is combined with 24. We'll go through the resolution at 24.
Okay. Kercheval Caleb?
Yes, you may recall they were in, I think at the last meeting then, that was, Mr. and Mrs. Kercheval came in, they were on 4098 Noyak. They were interested in subdividing for their two children, but they had a subdivision
Yes.
covenant that said we were not permitted.
Right.
We had asked them to do a pre-application for the subdivision, and then we would hash out how we wanted to address that covenant. They have submitted everything, and it's complete at this point, so it was just completion.
So our action is to consider completion.
No public hearing?
Yes, and a public hearing for June 25th.
June 20.
Public hearing. Okay, motion? Motion by Kate, second by Gloria, all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, 6 in
Abstain.
favor, 5 in favor, 1 abstain, 1 absent,
One extension.
abstention.
Yep.
I did say,
Those words are too close, absent and abstain.
yes, absent and abstain.
Yes.
Okay,
Tongue twister.
so we have a June 25th public hearing. Teresa, JWD?
Yes, this is a proposed 3-lot residential subdivision with an open space ag reserve on Lumber Lane, as you can see here. The applicant is, again, proposing to divide it into 3 residential lots. There is a covenant that said no further subdivision, but it was one of those modern covenants that said no further subdivision without planning board approval, so we don't actually have to do a covenant amendment per se.
As with every subdivision?
Right, and so it's a type 1 action pursuant to SECRA. It's pre-app. We'll do the SECRA at the final stage. So we're just deeming it complete for a public hearing on June 25th is the tentative
Can we
date.
just look at this?
Yep. So what
It's
they're proposing.
732, there's a house on it in the front.
Yes, so the northerly, you know what, Uncle?
So it's an existing 250,000 square foot parcel, lot 1, which is this lot here.
Right.
Will
So-
contain 15,000, do you want me to, or you?
Yeah, go ahead. This is the.
15,433 square feet. Lot 2 will be 65,321, and lot 3 will be 44,246. Half of the lot, 125,000, will be an ag reserve.
What is it now?
It's a farm.
Oh.
Is it an
there-
ag reserve now?
There's a 2-story house, a 1-story house, and those are all houses.
These are houses.
Yes, but
So
what's what's that?
It's not preserved right now.
It was part of another subdivision, which is these 2 lots, and I think at one point even this lot. And they were all developed, and this is ag, this can potentially be re-subdivided, and then there's this. Unfortunately, because there's this residential lot here, there's no connection here, but there is some tenuous connection right here to this agricultural activity. But the ag reserve would be in this back portion of the parcel, and you would essentially have 3 houses, where you have 3 houses now.
There's no increase in.
How do you get to the ag reserve?
There's going to be a flag, this building right here is going to be demolished, this building's gonna be demolished, this is the house, I believe, that's going to be retained, and there would be a flag lot to the ag reserve up here.
So the ag reserve stays? I'm confused a little bit here.
It's not an ag reserve.
It's not a reserve.
Can you just
What is it
show
zoned
her on the
as?
map?
What is it?
R80?
The zoning is R60, right?
Our CR 80.
80, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
R80.
But it was part of another
It was
subdivision?
part, here, let me show you.
It's just an oversized lot.
It's just an oversized lot,
Yeah.
prior subdivision.
Proposes 3 wells with an ag reserve.
One of the new lots is only going to be 15,000?
No,
Did you say 15 or 50? 60?
15,000 square feet with 130, lot 1, yeah, that's wrong.
So the language here talks about,
80,875.
Okay.
the language talks about agricultural overlay district located at 732
Right.
Lumber Lane.
okay, so,
So I think we have to be really careful here and track documents and what this was part of. If it was another subdivision, did that subdivision say?
okay, so there was a subdivision called Agnes Tilska. It included this parcel being subdivided off from this parcel and what was one parcel here. This parcel has subsequently been divided into an ag reserve, which is this parcel here, and 2 residential lots.
And where's the entrance to that? It comes off Lumber Lane?
Off of Lumber Lane here along the northern property line. We just did the barn approval for 810 Lumber Lane here for a farm, for a barn here for the ag reserve on this parcel. So this parcel of ag right here connects to this parcel of ag, which connects to this parcel of ag. These are 2 other parcels that were created by that initial subdivision, and they would be permitted to subdivide with your authorization this lot. They are proposing to make this back portion ag reserve with access over a flag strip here, and then they're gonna keep this house right here, and then demolish the other structures and allow for construction of new homes. On
2 other homes.
2 other homes. So you still have 3 houses. You're not resulting in any additional density.
You're just disturbing
redistributing.
land, yeah.
Yeah.
You're losing.
Where did the
prime
3
ag
houses, the new
soils.
houses go?
This one will be here, one will be back here, and then one will be down here. And then this back portion will be,
How much acreage?
This is the full yield. The total acreage is 5.7 acres. this is the full yield map, this is the
Cluster.
cluster map.
Yeah, so can we
That I was
just
talking
hold that
about.
up?
And that creates this giant ag reserve in the back with an easement here for access, contiguous to other ag reserves, and then 3 smaller building lots here, cognizant of the existing building here, a new building here, and a new residence here. The existing barn is gonna be renovated to an art studio, but that's it.
So how large is the ag reserve?
50% of the lot, 125,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And that becomes an ag reserve, unbuildable.
Yes.
And the 3 other lots are 3 individual lots or
3 individual lots.
of
Did we
roughly
look at
60?
the prior subdivision language and all of that?
Yes, I did look at that, and
Yeah.
the way that the language is written is that no further subdivision without planning board approval. So in theory, we don't need a covenant amendment because the covenant gives the out, right, of saying the planning board has to approve it. The second caveat of that covenant said you have to do a clustered subdivision. You have to provide the 50% open space, which they are doing.
And, those covenants are always strange to me because you cannot have a subdivision without planning board approval, so.
Right.
Right.
And the cluster allows you to have one smaller lot. Is that part of the deal?
Cluster allows the smaller lots,
Yeah.
yes, because the benefit to the public is this
Right.
massive
Got
open
it.
space.
So the parcel to the south, is it to the south or to the north?
This is the east,
This is east,
because this is Lumber Lane. This is on the west side of Lumber Lane.
west of Lumber Lane.
Yeah.
So the other parcel, the other vacant parcel.
That's not part of this.
That's-
That
no, I
could
know,
still,
but I
in theory,
wanna know.
be subdivided. So if this application, if this property would come in to be subdivided, we could work to try and get the ag to connect here to this ag. Whatever configuration they come in with this, we would try and seek to have the ag connected to this ag reserve. Whether that means clustering the 2 lots like this, tight up here, or along this edge here, and then having us,
And that has the
This is
same
not where
restriction.
the horses are, is this?
no,
what-
no, the horses are up here.
Amaryllis.
No, I don't mean North Edge.
That's on-
No.
Isn't that on
I think it's
Butter
out
Lane?
here. You think of Amaryllis Farm.
Amaryllis, yeah.
No, that's up here, I believe.
Is there some sort of drainage swale, some swale running through
There's
this?
drainage
There's a big
issues. There
drainage
was
swale on that
the
property.
subdivision right there
Here.
had
Yeah.
major drainage
Tremendous
issues.
swale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing
And
that.
it created some problems. The code enforcement's been involved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they had, at one point, got a notice of violation when they had submitted the formal site plan for the barn on this property, because they had regraded the parcel. You can actually see some of the grades that they did, but they did restore them back, because we did have some drainage easements here, another drainage easement here, and we told them, leave the soil grades as they were, so they did put them back.
It was flooding, so even with moderate rain, it was flooding.
Yeah.
The properties to the
Yeah.
south.
So, we've been working on addressing that. So, this was all part of the larger subdivision here. This became the Englebright subdivision that was done
Yeah.
a couple of years ago. This is the ag, which is unfortunately not going to be able to be connected to this, but if we can connect this, like something over here, and then the ag over here, and then, hopefully we'll get
Yeah, they all
a
link up.
decent-sized block.
And it'll be somewhat consistent to what it is now. The structures currently are all pushed towards
They're small houses, I'm trying to remember what they look
Lumber
like.
Lane. They're
Right.
not obscenely large houses. No, one of them is remaining the same.
What's the square footage?
The
You can't
biggest
cut-
house
it's
is
kinda
7,500 square feet.
That ain't small.
1850. What?
That ain't small.
No. Yeah, I've seen 1850 square feet here. The existing second-story home is gonna stay there, the barn will stay. So,
Okay, I just, as long as we've tracked back what the original subdivision was, so that we don't put ourselves in a bind.
So again, this is to deem the application complete, and we're not doing seeker at this time because this is pre-application, and the tentative hearing date is June 25th.
I'll move it.
How many do we have on June 25th? Four. That's it.
the hearing, June 25th, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so, motion to deem this complete, schedule a public hearing, June 25th. Motion by Gloria, and second by Dennis. All in favor? Opposed, abstentions?
Abstain.
5 in favor, 1 abstention, and 1 absent.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Carl.
Thank you. 2.
Is that JWD? Yeah.
Yeah. So do we want, we did the Heatherwood, Claire, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Camino Gardens?
Okay, this is the property at 755 Montauk Highway in Watermill. It is the former Roberts Restaurant. The applicant
yes.
is seeking to allow for outdoor seating in the rear of the property. There's been some issues with respect to violations. This is pre-submission conference, so it's sufficient.
Are they here?
Lori Wilkshire is the applicant's agent. You know, we've discussed it. She's given me a revised survey showing the new patio that was constructed without the required authorization. Physical copies will be turned in shortly when they can get printed from the surveyor, but I do have a digital copy if you want to see it. Again, they're trying to legalize, they're trying to put outdoor seating in the back, temporary seasonal outdoor seating. This is pre-submission conference, so this is our time to talk about all the things that need to be resolved. And
Do they have a CO there yet?
no, I don't believe so. I think they're still working on getting fire marshal approval, as we had discussed with the
Yeah.
applicant.
So what's the violation?
They had constructed a fence without the building permit, and then also they started the patio, which technically doesn't need a building permit, but needs approval from us. So again, it's tentatively scheduled for June 25th. It's one of the 4 that we had on for the agenda that I
It is one of
tentatively
the 4.
scheduled.
Does it have a CO?
It has an old CO, but not since the recent change of tenancy.
And it needs a public assembly.
It needs in order to get the CO, they need a public assembly permit from the fire marshal's office. In addition to the change of tenancy, they've been informed that they're not allowed to operate any outdoor seating until they go through the site plan process, but as long as they get the fire marshal's approval for public assembly, they'll be able to operate interior, again, assuming that they didn't make any interior changes, which the fire marshal will take a look at as part of his public assembly permit.
Lori, do you have anything to say? Just, okay.
You should try and get this on now.
Yes, so it's,
So this is scheduled for June 25th, that's the 4th one?
yes.
So motion, you want, so I'm deeming it complete and scheduling a public hearing?
Correct.
Okay, motion by Kate, second by David, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions?
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm good.
6 in favor.
I'm good on scheduling.
6 in favor, and 1 absent. Okay. We have a site disturbance,
No,
Seth.
no, wait, we gotta go to do CVE.
Oh, CVE, missed it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
CVE,
All right, here we
West
go.
Hampton.
CVE is an existing sand mine. They want to convert portions of it to a commercial scale solar. It's gonna be done in 2 phases. The first phase will be about 25 acres and 5 megawatts. The second will also be similarly sized as phase 2.
Is this the one where it's filling up with water?
No, that's 1 lot over, 2 lots over. It's right next to it. So this one is interesting because this one was, we had relinquished lead agency to the Pine Barrens Commission because they had a conservation easement. They issued an approval and a neg deck. So this resolution, again, there was a confusion on my end. We don't have to issue a neg deck. We're bound by their neg deck. So the resolution has a finding. I might have to fix that.
They wrote a very long.
Has a finding that we're in agreement with the Pine Barrens neg deck, and we are scheduling the hearing for the 25th.
Now, is this an opportunity site
That is correct.
for solar?
Mhm.
And this is an elevated, is it a functioning sand mine, or they finished
No,
mining?
it's still functioning, and that was one of the issues. We're still waiting for the official written determination from the chief building inspector that the solar can be accessory to the sand mine.
Oy.
It was,
They said they would close the mine, I think, 4 or 5 years earlier as part of the condition, as I read in the Pine Barrens report, but I thought all sand mines are closing in 7 or.
We have an amortization law on effect, but I think they're supposed to come in with like a plan to wind down operations. I have to double check the law again, but this would obviously be eventually part of that amortization, okay?
So the question that came up on the other project was if they're having an amortization plan, they're extracting what they say is left of the value, but then they're having another use that is giving them value, but they have to close up sooner, and I think that's what David is
They want
asking.
to close sooner, but not soon enough.
That's
Because the amortization is it's giving them their right to the remaining value of the property over a period of time, but if they're adding something else that's adding value, then they don't get to double dip. That's my opinion.
Well, I mean, again, I have to look into the amortization law, and that would be part of the the report that we would have to address, and as part of our conditional approvals and things of that nature.
So do we have to process this before we get a determination from the chief building inspector?
The town's planning and development administrator, Janice, conferred with him because he was out of office, and she indicated that he would provide the written determination. Right, but that, yes, he has determined that it was accessory to the sand mine.
That it's accessory?
Correct.
Has the perspective that we're sharing been brought for his consideration?
I don't know what information was provided to them.
Okay.
Is this where he's amortizing out the sand mine and putting in the solar?
Their intention is to operate the sand mine for a period of time while they do the and operate the solar for a period of time to concurrent, and then they would
Correct.
phase out
Yeah,
the
that makes
sand mine.
sense, and it's in the, I read the code provision.
Yeah.
So they're allowed to do that? Okay.
Okay, so again, this is to schedule it for public hearing. It's one of the four that we had tentatively scheduled
So
for. the
I have a question.
Yes.
Going back to the town with the opportunity sites, does that clearly state that, let me just say, it was my understanding that once the sand mine is finished, then it's an opportunity site to fill it with water and put solar in. That's not the case?
No, it doesn't,
Or is it not
It's an
specific?
opportunity site regardless of whether they're done or not, right? So if they wanted to cease operations tomorrow and just go ahead and do it with site plan approval, that it's still an opportunity site. It doesn't matter when when they cease operations, it's still classified, since it had been a sand mine or is still a sand mine, as an opportunity
But it
site.
makes
Seems
sense
to
because
me-
you want to encourage, right? You're trying to amortize them out, so you're trying to encourage a transition, and there is that transition period. To not allow otherwise would be,
How many years, though? They're still
I-
gonna be mining. Isn't that tied up in litigation?
I don't know what the status of the litigation is with respect to the amortization law, but I will as part of our process, we can find out what their timeline is for ceasing operation of the sand mine.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's double dipping, they're operating a mine and they're putting in a solar operation. It defies logic to me, It's one or the
We
other.
want to encourage the transition, obviously, as the opportunity site, but if they're receiving that value from amortization, why should they also concurrently be receiving value from a new development on the site?
say receiving value, what do you mean by that?
The whole,
Sand mine.
if I'm understanding it correctly, the amortization is like, they're saying they're getting the value out of the property that they would have, and they estimate the number of years that will take for them to get it out. So they're receiving the value of their land already, but then concurrently receiving value from a new project.
It might be helpful
So
to
maybe they would close up sooner, is what I'm saying, like
But I-
calculate what their value is from the solar and take that off from the number of years that they would
But I
be
think
in
if
operation.
the
Because we
chief
are
building
in
inspector.
active litigation on this.
Okay.
It might
That'd
be
be problematic.
best to do an exec session at some point, and somebody,
Okay.
the attorney who does this in our office, we have outside counsel, but we also have an attorney in the office that's very familiar with this, and so we can have her come in and talk to us.
Okay, awesome,
And
thanks.
I think if the chief building inspector says it's an accessory use, then he's basically saying you can have two uses. So
Well,
I-
no, he's saying if it's an accessory use, then it's not two uses, it is one use with an accessory.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which says to me that you could still, you could do both.
Right.
So it's not double dipping.
As an accessory, it's not two
I may not
primary
agree with
uses.
that.
So to your point, I think an executive session to fully understand
executive
that
session.
That's
is great.
separate, that would be it might be helpful, but that's separate and apart
From
from
what
the
we'll discuss
accessory
today.
use that the building, chief building inspector has.
So is this on a timeline? Do we have to process this now?
We need to schedule a public hearing for it.
They've submitted an application,
We have
right?
an application.
And the application is complete.
The engineering plans are complete, we just need the official written determination. Again, we've gotten verbal from the town planning director and upon consultation with the chief, but we need the official written, just to make sure our record is complete, but otherwise, we're ready to proceed.
So this then sets a precedent for the other solar farm that's that's filling up with, that they're going to fill up with water, remember?
So it's interesting because there is, in the commercial solar requirements, that you have opportunity sites and you have avoidance sites, and opportunity sites include sand mines, right? But then avoidance sites include things like the Pine Barrens and wetlands. And in this particular case, the Pine Barrens gave them approval, so this site is an opportunity site, as defined by both the Pine Barrens and by the town code. The one with the pond, the lake, there's additional questions to be had there because it's in groundwater.
It's in groundwater.
Right, so those are wetlands as defined by the town code. So whether or not that classifies as an opportunity site versus as an avoidance site, that's something that would need to be explored further as part of that application.
Okay, now I'm clear.
Okay.
Now I'm clear. Thank you. All right, so we're deeming this complete and scheduling a public hearing for,
July 25th, it's one of the four.
June 25th.
I'm sorry, June 25th.
want to take a vote on this? No.
Do you want to
So
do?
motion?
Daphne?
Yes.
Roscoe?
Motion by Gloria, second by David. All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions?
No abstention, I voted.
6 in favor, 1 absent. Good. Site disturbance?
We're gonna jump to Roscoe because Daphne's here, we just wanna.
You've been sitting there for a while.
Lot 48, map of Roscoe Acres.
So, Roscoe Acres, lot 48 is a subdivision. It's a currently vacant lot, and it is 37,000 square feet exclusive of the flagpole. So I believe they would be allowed, how much clearing, 50%? 50?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where is it? What zone? What?
It's around the corner from me.
So it is in Watermill, and it is, oh, I forget what the zoning is.
It's on Woody Court. It's a little tiny little cul-de-sac off of Old Trail.
So as you can
CR
see,
200,
it's
yeah.
wooded, it's vacant, and they are coming in. So what happened is they came in for a building permit, and we have a new procedure now for the Aquifer Protection Overlay District, whereas the projects get referred to us, and we can review the projects to see, one, if they're pre-existing non-conforming over-cleared, if they're over-cleared in violation of the code, or if they're not, then if their clearing is realistic, because we've had applications where the clearing is unrealistic, where they're putting a swimming pool edge right next to the edge of clearing, and that you just can't do that, right? In this particular instance, there was concern that there wasn't sufficient area for clearing around the proposed development, and so they submitted a site disturbance, and they're requesting to clear 3,000 square feet beyond their allowable limit, and then they intend to revegetate back. They had initially asked for more clearing, and I had asked, I had some concerns with respect to the development that they were proposing, and I spoke to the town engineer, and he reviewed it and had some comments. And then we got back to the applicant, and they did make some modifications, and now they're asking for 3,000 square feet. And I have heard some of the board members express concern that they are not comfortable with that much over-clearing beyond what is permitted.
I don't think we should be allowing over-clearing as part of a planning process.
Right.
If it's done, unfortunately, there's one thing to re-veg, but figure out what you can build on the stuff that can be cleared.
Well, I will say, we did submit a conforming plan. and Dave Kanji referred it to Seth. Seth looked at it briefly. I happened to be in town hall that day, and he, in his experience, said that it wasn't realistic based upon grade changes we were proposing and the need for construction access and, you know, everything that happens on a construction site.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
we've dealt with this with a lot of the, a couple of developments in Bridgehampton where every single lot has come in for a re-veg because every house was built bigger with all of its accessory structures compared to what could be cleared. So I personally have a very strong opinion that if you have a lot, and this is what you're allowed to do, figure out how to use what you have. That's just one person.
Have you looked at off-site purchase?
No.
Also, we've never given permission to clear, to
So
overclear
you have a new process.
before.
So it's kind
It's
of.
not a new process.
We
If I
don't.
may
Well,
jump
it
in,
kind
since
of
I was
is.
the one that suggested this.
Come on.
It's my understanding, after speaking with Janice Shear, the way that this code was designed was to have, it wasn't to catch people in the act, which is what we face off every single time. The way they had designed it was you can ask permission for more clearing if necessary, with the understanding that you are going to have to revegetate. This was before the wild days of overclearing and chopping down everything perhaps, but that is the way it was. And I would like to see personally them come in and ask permission and for us to do an assessment of what they're trying to achieve and actually say, you know what, maybe that is feasible. And we look at it from the get-go as opposed to, we're gonna be sitting here in 3 months if this hadn't been looked at with perhaps a lot more clearing and a lot less. And so I would just plant that seed for you to consider.
It's important.
Yeah,
It's
no,
an important
it's-
seed
That's
because,
the intention of
so
the
do you
code.
look at the size of the house and the size of the lot?
Certainly, we look at what they're proposing to build and saying how, and how much clearing they're asking for. At the onset of this, the proposed build-out seemed like without a lot more clearing that well past the 50. So it's my understanding they've constrained maybe their build-out a little and have maximized how they can do the build-out. That's, I think, the purpose of what we're trying to achieve. I don't think it's we can't carte blanche tell somebody, no, you can't do these things at all. Perhaps we can work together on finding out a good way to proceed. And that was,
Does the new tree legislation kick in here or not?
this would certainly be, this is one of the main reasons why the land disturbance ordinance was created, was for vacant lots. So there would be an assessment of what is on that lot. Are there valuable ecological resources, trees of significance defined at 18 inches? Perhaps we would try to steer the development away from the heavily sloped areas. I don't know how sloped that is, but we certainly would.
That area is very hilly, whether that particular lot is, I
Without a
don't know.
grading plan, the land
Does that
disturbance
have,
permit
does
would
that
not
have,
proceed.
does that have to happen first before we
That would
make a
be-
decision on whether or not we allow more clearing? Maybe that review is gonna say, well, you can do this and this and this, but you can't do this and this.
Well, so that's why we're here, right? Obviously, they're asking for permission instead of forgiveness at this point. They
Which is
have
good.
scaled down their clearing. The question is has they scaled it down enough to satisfy you? Right now, they're at 3,000 square feet beyond their limit. They are proposing to revegetate. Do you feel that that's minimal? Do you want them to try and tighten it up some more? Because based on my concern, you know, what I heard from you, I wrote it up saying, no, let's not do this. But we can table it and we can see if there could be other ways to potentially scale it back so that we can need less clearing to ask for permission for. The question is, again, is 3,000 square feet too much for you or not?
Isn't there an earlier question
we
on the
don't really
table?
know.
What
How
you
would
want,
we know
what you
that?
want to do is you want to go into the code, the waiver provision of the APOD. The last section of the code allows us to waive all provisions of the APOD, and the language states, provided the intent of this chapter is met. So how is allowing more clearing consistent with meeting the chapter?
I don't necessarily
APOD?
disagree.
Yeah. This is
Yes,
it?
it is
the
APOD, and I
APOD
don't necessarily disagree
It
with
doesn't say that.
your concerns. But again, you know, the parcel does have slopes. It does have, you know.
Constrained, I agree. It's-
Right.
It's constrained.
It's the top of a hill, so they're gonna have to regrade it to make it flat enough for them to build a house. But the question is it possible to tighten it up some more, right?
Look,
If
I
they
think
build a
that,
smaller house.
I think Seth, exactly. I think Seth is the expert on this, because he has months and months of experience.
Right.
He's looked at it originally, he said, it's too much.
No, actually, he didn't. He said, when Seth looked at it, we showed 50%. He said that that was not reasonable, that he believed we would have to overclear in order to construct the project. So we went to the drawing board and gave what we thought was a reasonable envelope, which was 5,000 square feet of clearing, which brought us to 64%. Once Teresa got it, she referred it to Tom Houghton. Tom had some comments about setbacks from the limit of clearing to the drainage and the well. We are basically accommodating all the town engineers' requirements for the clear, and actually, we're a little bit closer than the setbacks on one or two of these things, particularly the pool. So theoretically, I don't think there's much more we can do to tighten this anymore, and the alternative is for us to construct tons of retaining walls, which I don't think is a reasonable.
What's the size of the house?
That's what
It's a 2,800 square foot footprint. I think that on a 1 acre lot, it's. that's-
So
5,200
I don't have
square
an
feet.
issue with, with
5,200
requesting the
square feet.
clearing. I'm fine with that, but I
Flip
go
to
back to
flip.
my other question. The new
Yeah,
ordinance, when
5,000
does
square
that
feet.
kick in? Does that,
Usually 10 days, right, Christine?
but does that have an effect on this property?
The law
And
kick in.
well, wouldn't they be going in first to decide how much could be cleared?
I think if you're worried about setting a precedent right now, I know that I've proposed something that is something you don't usually do. The new land disturbance ordinance is designed for this very situation.
Yeah.
Perhaps you would wait until that kicked in.
I would think so.
How is it designed?
May I ask a question? Does the new ordinance cover the APOD, or is it everything else? Because if it's the APOD
Certainly
is
covers
very
the
black and
APOD.
white, a percentage period.
And
No,
quite honestly, you will be, as the planning board, the lead, you will decide this very lot, as in the code, you are to determine what happens if 50% or more of the natural vegetation of a site is altered.
Well, so I ask it because what if they go in, and I hope this is not the case, but in the areas where they want to construct this, 3 huge trees that
That's what they
that they're
want.
saying, no, you can't take these down, and then the whole thing has to be reconfigured.
That's what the
Right.
land disturbance permit,
Right.
is geared towards, is that identifying
Right.
important natural resources on those lots before they're clear
Right.
cut.
So procedurally, we should wait until this.
I think so.
I mean,
Just
on one
devil's-
hand, that's a little unfair because they
Yeah.
are trying to proceed and they are trying to ask for permission. It's, you know, to hold them up for a law that, that it was going into effect while they're in the process, I think is, you know, I mean, and at the end of the day, the result is still the same. They still have to comply with the APOD clearing standards. The question is, they are asking for permission. Are you willing to consider some overclearing or none? And if you are willing to consider some overclearing for the purposes of the fact that they do have some slopes on the property, how much would you be willing to consider? Is there a way that they can tighten it up to make it satisfactory to you?
I would argue there's nothing in the code that allows us to do that. If you go to the APOD regs, the only waiver provision we have is if it's consistent with the intent of that law. How can we state that allowing overclearing is consistent with the intent of the law? Now, we've had applicants come and secure off-site mitigation. They've gone to the Pine Barrens, they've bought old filed maps and sterilized them. If you talk to Dave Wilcox, he's got a whole roster of properties that are on his wish list.
we're not asking to maintain the overclearing. We're asking to overclear and revegetate, which to me is no different than if I got a building permit for the 50% and the guy goes in there and clears the 3,000 square feet.
You talk to the conservation people, they'll say there's no way that revegetation substitutes for the natural underlying vegetation. Off-site mitigation is something you guys should really look at, because we've done it a bunch of times. We've had some tennis courts in the area, and you're not talking,
Well, again.
Or right
we
sizing the
showed-
house for the
we
lot
showed an envelope.
area you have.
We showed the 50%, and we're told that that was not reasonable. There is grading that needs to be done on the property. It's 100%
Not reasonable or not
necessary.
credible, sorry to,
It was not reasonable. That was
It's
what.
not achievable.
not achievable,
Achievable.
thank you, that's what I meant.
Because if you're proposing a
difference is-
swimming pool that's 8 foot deep, you can't propose it 1 foot from the clearing
Right.
because you have to have angle of
But that's
proposed.
the
There has
building
to be
department
some
shouldn't be
general
issuing-
compliance with general engineering.
I just wanted to clarify what was meant by reasonable. It's not.
Achievable, what can be
the department should
achieved.
be taking this plan to the engineer, say, is this achievable? The engineer says, no way. And that end of story. We
Right.
don't have the ability to.
So what we did was the initial plan that came in with the 5,000 square feet, we did that. And the engineer said, these things are issues that would have to be addressed in order to show that these can be accommodated. They did make some revisions and they tightened it up and they come back and they're asking for 3,000 square feet now. So the question is, again, is it acceptable? Is it not acceptable? If it is acceptable, how much are you willing to accept or not accept?
My position is we lack the
your position is
authority.
no.
We do not have the authority.
And I'm
We
with
can
Dennis.
consider applications that involve off-site mitigation, if you want to purchase some old file map lots.
I'm really confused as to why this has transpired this way. If I have shown the building department that this was a 50% clear, like, I feel like we're being punished for something that we haven't done yet. Like that, we're asking to do something that is going to reasonably allow us not only access for construction vehicles and parking and installation of foundations. We're asking for fringes as little as like 3 feet and as big as maybe 15, and only in the one bulk area when you come into the lot. So, you know.
Daphne, you're in the APOD.
I understand.
It doesn't go beyond that. I mean, that's it.
But I've been doing this a long time, as many of you know, and I've come here before asking for forgiveness for people after the fact. So I was told that that is no longer something that the town is interested in. So now we're doing it this way. And I feel like
You're doing it because that's the size house you want, that's the location that you want,
And
and all of those
Building
factors are
department should not be
problematic.
issuing this permit. I
No.
don't understand why they
Actually,
would
with
issue
the
this
clearance,
permit.
you have a purpose, even if that's your purpose, that's an acceptable purpose. If they want that size house, that's an acceptable purpose.
it meets lot coverage, it meets zoning, there are no issues. It's just that the grading is necessary because of the existing slopes to construct a project here. And with grading, you have to oftentimes go beyond, you know, where you need flat land in order to make it work. You don't want to have like a steep runoff thing, because that's gonna cause issues with erosion or whatever. The alternative, again, is to build like huge retaining walls all over the place, which is not practical or attractive
Or change the project,
to an applicant.
modify the project to conform. I mean, the
Right,
building
if you have
department
a
should not be issuing this permit. What if this were wetlands? Would they say, okay, you can encroach on the wetlands and we'll replant wetland? I don't,
It
I've never
does,
seen this.
it depends on the circumstances. In some cases, they have done so, but they
Yes.
have often required more than a 2-to-1 offset in that case.
Yeah.
But, so,
So
Is
there
there
is
an
an
offset?
offset
Is there-
here.
is there-
There
is
is
there
an
offsite
offset.
mitigation?
We've done it in
I know this
number of
code, I know this
instances.
portion of the code. My argument is, we don't have the authority under the current code.
Yeah, the planning board does not have hardship. You know, they don't have a hardship threshold. It is,
Right.
the resource has to be equal or better.
Or better, yeah.
And so it's either the trade-off or you're showing a project that when you're constructing it, you need to be within the 50%.
We end up more.
Yeah,
And
and so,
with the off-site mitigation, we've had people say, I want to clear like 3,000 square feet from tennis court. I'm going to buy these old file map lots for 8,000 square foot. So at the end of the day, we'll have a net positive. And then the code
Positive.
allows us to do that.
Yeah.
On the waiver provision of the APOD, but right now, there's no,
So what they buy is, in perpetuity, it's preserved.
I don't think my client's going to accept that. That seems.
So I think their only other option is to reduce the size of the
Here again.
house.
My client
Well,
won't
the
accept
pool
it.
have
We
a
had that, we had 2 weeks. ago. My
constrained
client's
lot.
not going to accept it.
And
You have to
knowing
put
where
in
the
highest.
town is going, I'd want assurances that there are no mature trees on the area they want to clear.
Well, I mean, it's forested property. The whole property is mature trees, right? That's
Well-
the but
What's
again.
the point of the ordinance?
Yeah, but,
So,
but
yes,
we're
the ordinance, the
dealing with the
ordinance says that
APOD.
if there's a purpose for clearing, they're allowed to do so. But you have to weigh that against the provisions of the APOD, which says you're not supposed to clear beyond your allowable limits. So that's, and the provision of the land disturbance is not in account yet. So the question is, do you want them to modify their project to show that maybe even, less clearing beyond, and see if maybe that might be acceptable or
That would
or
be,
not?
that would be a precedent, though,
Right.
for the planning
Yeah.
board to even do 1,000 or 500. It's a precedent.
Or 500.
And the board is clearly saying they don't
Yeah,
want to
we'll
set that
stick to the
precedent now.
APOD and entertain
Think of offset
sterilizing a
purchase.
parcel off-site.
A lot of people do it. I wouldn't say a lot, but it has been done in a number of
I
instances.
mean, there's a couple just in the last maybe year that
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
approved.
Dave Wilcox is one who keeps the roster of old filed mat lots and properties that can be transferred.
So you'd be looking for something 3,000 square feet.
So I would maybe suggest, let's table this and then we can explore potential alternatives that would meet the goals of the planning board.
So, let me ask a question. If they were to do something off-site, would they still need to revegetate?
No, they
No.
could have the clearing up to 65%, I think.
Yeah.
Up to 65% permanently through a covenant and an easement on the other parcel.
Right.
So you would be, with this, you'd be buying the right to have additional
So
clearing
with
up to
this,
65%.
I could have the 5,000 square feet.
You could?
Good, exactly.
Yeah, work with Dave Wilcox to get the credits that you need.
Okay, so
And
talk
it
to
might save
him.
your client money, too.
Right, because plants are expensive.
And it makes the property more valuable.
Yeah. As I say, Dave Wilcox is a good,
Okay, so,
He did
good
have a list of
resource.
stuff.
He does.
so we're gonna table this and then we're gonna explore alternatives then.
Yeah,
Is that what
and-
we're doing?
and
Please alert the building
Daphne's gonna
department now.
talk to,
Hopefully, they're not going to issue building permits.
They don't.
They don't.
No, because
No,
that's the new procedure.
I've been waiting since the end of February to get to this point, to have this conversation. So that's why I'm scratching my head a little bit that this is, it's putting carts before horses because they haven't, we showed that they could comply.
But they couldn't though, right?
But the-
Realistically, they
the
couldn't comply.
Grading is the issue.
Yeah.
Because
It's
if
hard
you
to get to
actually,
properties like that without,
Yeah. I
there
mean,
are
that's.
retaining walls,
I mean, and
slopes,
this is part of
elevations.
reason why now when we do subdivisions, we look at where the slopes are and
Oh,
where we
yeah.
should be putting the subdivisions, right?
Well,
Because this is clearly an issue.
notating on a site plan where your project limiting fence is going to go could be useful and instructive just for interpretation by the building inspector or the engineer. Say, well, how much room you need to get around, right? Because they're kind of like,
Another thing I was going to
Analyzing
say
that
is
right
that
now.
they had said that once they were to clear to this level, that they would put up a silt fence or whatever kind of a project
Project
limiting
limiting
fence in order to make sure that that does not get further disturbed.
That's sort of what you're dealing with is tightening up of all the things that we found that were problematic. And you're just getting hit with
You're
all
unfortunately
of
the
it, right?
first,
well,
right?
and it's not,
no.
it's prior to any
Well, I
site
mean,
work
with respect to the
beginning that
processes,
project
yeah.
limiting fence has to be installed.
This is CR 200.
And then things can start. It's not clear and then put up a fence. It's put up a fence so that whatever contractor comes in there is very, like, a delineated
Yeah,
line.
well, that might not be practicable if you're taking down a tree in a certain area and the fence is right next to it. I don't know, but I get it.
How is it,
Staked, yeah.
you've seen the property, right?
I actually have not.
Okay, I was curious to know what kind of woods are
Yeah,
there.
but
It's-
in the
it's-
aerial, you can
You
see.
know it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Shrub oak.
mostly oak.
Yeah,
A little-
Shrub oak.
It would make
Yeah,
sense.
it's, I mean, I live in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
and that Roscoe is all hilly.
Yeah.
And the houses, many of them have driveways that make mine look flat, and mine's not flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how are we
That
getting in
one-
here? Off that roundabout?
Yes, off the roundabout.
Yeah.
It's
That
a little-
back
And what is there, an
window of the
easement through that
It's a
other?
little, it's a little cul-de-sac.
No, there's a roundabout at the top.
Yeah, it's a cul-de-sac.
It's a
It's a
flag.
little short cul-de-sac off of a road that goes pretty far back.
Whole trail.
Old Trail, yeah.
Okay, so we'll table this, we'll look at alternatives, and then hopefully come back with something that can
Speak to Mr.
address
Wilcox.
everybody's issues.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks, Teresa.
thank you. Thanks, Stephanie.
Sorry, Daphne.
It's all right, I get it.
Well, they buy old farm
Thank
lots
you.
and they sterilize them. And then those lots
care
are
about
sterilized,
trees.
and then-
I do too.
Sterilize it,
oh, you record an easement.
that nothing can be built there.
Nothing can be
Yeah.
built
Thanks
in
a lot.
perpetuity.
Thanks, Daphne.
Night.
Bye, Teresa.
Seth,
Seth's
are
got
we,
one.
Two more to go,
7
you
Gateway?
have,
two more site disturbances, that is.
Woods at Hampton
Woods at
Bays.
Hampton Bays?
So that's lot 19,
Yep.
located at 7 Gateway Court. There's a series of easements along the back property line and the front, honestly. So we've looked at these before. So the subject property is 18,304 square feet in the R20 Aquifer Protection Overlay District. So this property came in for a building permit and was denied, subject to the APOD referral system that we've been using. And there was some significant clearing in the back half of the property. And basically, they not only were they violating the covenant, the buffer, they were also violating the APOD percentages. So this one is in for the two of them. They had cleared 10,982. I'm sorry, 13,720, where 10,982 is permitted, so that's 67% clear where 60 is allowed. They submitted a plan that would revegetate the buffer in the back that's running parallel there to Old Riverhead Road. And it wasn't that the trees were all taken down, but they had cleared into it to put some of their grass.
Is there a buffer in the front as well?
Yeah, there is as well. That's, yeah, that one is vegetated. I'm sorry, I shouldn't. So, they did submit their plan, and it does, let's see, where the hell heck is it? Excuse me. First of all, sorry. Let me pass these out. I'm sitting on all 8 of them. There you go.
This is right off Old Riverhead
Yes.
Road? Okay.
I did have the plan with me, I thought. So there are a number of plants being put in the back half. We have black gum, red oak, eastern red cedar, northern bayberry, black huckleberry, and low bush blueberry. So there's a total of 14 trees being put in the back area. It does, in order to meet the 60%, there is a small bit that follows the edge of the clearing line that was sistered on there. So then there also was, I guess, 87 different shrubs being put in. So it was pretty robust. You can't really see it.
That's
very well,
good.
but I can
Yeah.
show you
That's
they
pretty
were-
full,
They were
yeah.
going in there and
Nice.
Great.
doing a nice job. So,
Good, Seth. You're happy with it?
I am actually. That one was a good one.
Good.
You're happy, we're happy.
All right,
All
well,
right,
we're back
so-
to 60 again.
Well, let's vote on this.
So that one is
So Woods at Hampton Bays, lot 19.
Lot 19.
Approving the reveg plan, motion by Kate, second by Gloria, and all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 6 in favor, 1 absent.
The next one would be Lot 3 of
Gaza?
JF. Again, it's a similar circumstance. This is a 82,143 square foot property at 1587 Millstone Road in the hamlet of Noyak. This is an R80. And again, this came to light through the building permit process. Basically, they were overcleared by 3.7%. They would have been allowed 35%. and they were at 38.7, so.
Where was it cleared?
Well, this is
In the back?
Yeah, the clearing has been this way for a long time. I think I can't recall, but it was some small little permit that hung them up. It's been that way for some time.
And that's also very hilly there.
So I did take I have
It
taken.
used to be that way. It used to be
Yeah,
nice.
It used to be nice. We used to have trees.
Trees. Sometime after 2014, yeah, they put the pool in. It was better with the pool, and then it just slowly got bigger. Yeah.
And the lawn crept.
Yeah, the
crept on.
Long Creek.
Well, so the architect, Oliver Vidal, took on this project as he had assisted the homeowner. It is only 3.7%. I know that looks egregious there from what it was to what it is now, but that was a 20% clearing, and now we're at 37.
It's a big lot, though.
It is a very large, that's quite a large size lot. So he had proposed I guess they're gonna remove the plantings along the driveway. The driveway does cut through the areas of natural vegetation, so they're gonna renaturalize up to the edges of the driveway. And then they were also going to add some in the back as well. When they came in, I did identify that the generator and the pool equipment was behind the limit of clearing, so we did add on 265 square feet of additional revegetation and took that area out. So it is 3,027 in total of revegetation, and he had listed out, again, it's mostly a lot of grasses, 1 gallons of Carex Pennsylvanica, pen sedge, that was 220 of those, 60 inkberries, and 60 northern bayberries. So
Is this Joe Gaza?
I think
no,
it's
that was his subdivision. Not, all I know of this project is an older gentleman who's an architect, Oliver Vidal.
Is the standard basically that they have to get back to what the maximum clearing was, but no additional, nothing punitive for the fact that they?
There is provisions in the code for fees but that's
the $300 or?
They have to pay for the.
They have to pay for the,
When it
definitely for
comes
the
up in Big Wing
revegetation.
in January, when everything's frozen and they're waiting for the C of O and they can't plant, and they want to post a bond and we don't take it. That's when it gets fun.
The point is to
But
bring it back to
it's
the
even,
natural.
I mean, it could be, I suppose it could be plus 10% or something, but that's not the rule. I was just curious what the rule was.
No, yeah, it's just get back to that percentage. That's
Yeah.
all we can
And that's what they're
reasonably ask
doing.
of them.
And that's what they're doing.
And that's
It
what
should
they're
feel
doing.
like we
You're happy
should
with
be
this?
something punitive to stop them from doing it in the first place.
An incentive.
But we can never do that for some reason.
Well, we're taking strides to do that.
Well, making them pay for it is a great thing. It's a great thing.
Certainly, well, we have to uphold the code, and the code in this case is 35%, and putting things beyond the limit of clearing is not acceptable, and it shouldn't be represented on a survey that way either. So we try to catch the things that are obviously not correct, or let's say they're gonna build a fairly large-sized house, and yet they draw the limit of clearing right up to the edge. We try to say, well, you gotta build this thing, right? And that's where the other one.
The building department should require a project limiting fence like we've been suggesting, like they do in the wetlands, like they could have inserted into that code, and they didn't.
Oh,
We
notated on
have
the.
project limiting fence in the land disturbance ordinance.
Good.
It's.
No, I didn't see it in the
It's
new
a
code.
may, not a should.
Is it?
It's a may, not a should.
Oh, that's right, it's a may, not a should.
That was one of my,
Then it doesn't exist.
can we,
Well, they have to post it anyway. We could get into that another
Wetlands,
day.
it's not a
Answering
may.
the question.
Seth, thank you.
Okay, so that's my end of the.
can
We
we
need a
close?
resolution.
Motion.
Okay, we haven't voted.
So a motion to approve this by Gloria, and second by Kate, all in favor? Opposed, abstention, 6 in favor,
Before
1
we-
absent.
I do have a add-on too.
Okay, but
Okay.
let me just acknowledge the signed plans,
Okay, I have
Oh, yeah.
not.
but you will.
I have,
25 Sandy
I have
Hollow
here.
Road,
I have not stood.
25
Sandy
Sandy Hollow
Hollow?
Road, and 254 Tuckahoe
okay,
Lane.
all right, I will
So I'm
sign both of
acknowledging
those.
those. Thank you, Seth.
Seth, don't go, because I have a question for you.
And what was it?
Oh,
Is it up there?
Yes, I heard.
I started to sign,
Third
but
item,
That's Sandy Hollow, and then this is the one,
254 Tuckahoe.
Tuckahoe, right?
that was something else from Target, but then there's that. Yeah.
These are the signed
Those are the
plans.
ones she started to sign.
That's, that one right there.
Gosh, I'm so impressed with this stuff.
Hampton Court. Oh, this is the one, that was the facade changes you had done last time. The facade upgrades? Yeah, Hampton Court.
So that's the walk-on?
That is a separate.
That's a walk-on.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's Hampton Court, Sandy Hollow.
Yep, 25 Sandy Hollow
And
and
Tuckahoe.
254 Tuckahoe.
Okay, all right, I
So
will
three.
sign.
Oh, is that part of it?
Okay, so I'm acknowledging those three, Hampton Court, 254 Tuckahoe, and 25 Sandy Hollow Road. That's it, Gloria? You didn't have a question? Okay.
I have before we close, I have a question for Seth.
Can I have the walk-on? Should I do the walk-on first?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not long. I think you'll understand it. So, Berkshire Court East, if you remember this one, these are the two buildings to the rear of the property.
Right.
There was office buildings, and there was originally 2 apartments, one on each one. You reviewed in 2018 to do 2 additional apartments. And at the time, they were entitled to do 2 market rates, like 1 market rate for each, and 1 would be affordable, right? They currently have 3 affordable and 1 market rates. And they want to make sure that that's clear in the approval, because the approval says all of them should be affordable. And they were entitled to 1. They were entitled to 2 market rate ones. They're going to sell that market rate one to the town to become affordable with the CHF.
So they want a clarification?
Clarification, yes, exactly.
So we
Do we do
handle
that
that
by
by an action?
Yeah, just a clarification that they have 1 market rate and 3 affordable on the property.
By resolution? we
By
do that?
resolution, and I will do
Okay,
that.
so you'll write it up.
I will write it up.
And motion by
Motion.
Dennis, second by
Me.
Gloria, all in favor? Opposed, abstentions, 6 in favor,
Thank you.
1 absent. Okay, that's it?
Yes.
Motion to
Oh, what
adjourn.
did you want to
Yeah.
ask something? Hold on.
Seth,
Shall we adjourn?
I have a question, clarification, which I hope you can answer, but if not, will you please get the correct answer?
Want to do that now on the record?
Yes.
Okay.
This land clearing ordinance, how does that work with the APOD?
It certainly applies in the APOD. The APOD is the rule of that 50% of the town. We stick with the APOD
Okay,
restrictions.
so then
That, we have
my-
that percentage there.
Might I then suggest that your comments about we could be flexible is not correct? Because we have to adhere by the APOD
Yes,
law as it is.
yes, okay, certainly.
That's, based on the conversation we had today, I thought
Yeah.
I needed
That
to have
clarity.
clarification.
I'm not
Understood.
clear on that.
That was,
I'm not clear on that myself.
Okay, well, that's why I'm saying,
I'm still not clear on it,
I think
Not
so-
clear on the legislation of the question.
the question. No, I'm clear on what Gloria is asking. I'm not clear on an answer.
Okay, and so that's why I'm raising it on the record, because I think I need to know that for me to be able to understand what I should be doing.
Well, the
maybe we
APOD
can
was
talk
never
about
amended,
that.
right?
No, APOD was never touched. It stands as it is.
it does
APOD.
stand as
Open
it.
code and
We tried to get APOD more robust, but didn't fly.
Well, I think the process where building department is now bouncing to you guys
Yes.
is a process that's going to work.
Yes, let's hope.
Pardon?
But someone's coming, right? But you're getting someone on
But we're
staff.
catching them.
Yeah,
Who knows what they do after the fact?
we recommended that. We needed you.
We worked
We knew
with
you needed help.
3 words, project limiting fence.
Seth, maybe
3
you can
magic
talk to
words.
Janice
That's all they gotta
and
do.
we can discuss it.
Yes, it certainly bears more discussion, and I will
Yes.
take it up with the.
We're gonna have a
town
process by the
planning and-
time you meet again. obviously, because it's going to be in effect.
Yeah.
Next
Yes.
month, that's for sure.
So
We're gonna have a process, so yeah, maybe we'll have like a work session at the end of.
We shall. We
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
certainly
Because I
need
think-
now
beginning.
your
Because
role.
it's something that we've all been saying we wanted this new legislation. Now we better understand how we should use it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we want to make it clear for applicants too, so I think that we'd like to have like a cheat sheet, and there was the beginning of one,
Yes.
of like, what does that mean for you when you submit a building
can we
permit?
do it as a workshop and get a credit for it?
Sneaky.
We'll do it like at noon, we'll pick a
Sure.
date when everybody's here.
Okay.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
By Dennis, second by Gloria, and all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed, it was 6 in favor, 1 absent. We are adjourned until 6 o'clock.